Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, co-host Nick Mason.
It's great to be here. I'm not even going to rise to the bait of you attempting to steal focus by cracking your little drink and slurping your little drink.
Why would I still focus from myself?
Your little drink slurper.
I have regular drinks, and that's okay.
It's okay. I think it is okay. It's good to be here.
It is, isn't it?
And I'm excited to talk the news of the week.
Oh, Mason, we've got so much news of the week before we're talking our main topic. There's time codes below. Rob Collins, who edits this, he lets us know that they're below, and they are.
He lets us know we're below average.
Yes, that's right. Not everywhere.
No.
Yeah, just
some places we're
just
normal.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Some places.
Some places we're normal.
But not all.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the knock-on effect of Furiosa not doing so well, Mason.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Blade getting a rewrite.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Captain America Brave New World being reshooting.
Okay.
We're going to talk about how the backup Zoom recorder is flashing red lights.
Because you're doing a big talk.
I hate that.
You're on L and I'm on R, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to talk
Watch
about...
Total Silence.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it
that's
peaking?
right. No, it's not.
I hate that. Does it always do this?
I don't know.
I hate it.
I've never paid attention to the one thing that I'm responsible for
I
here.
just don't want to see those lights. I'm putting it
Okay.
behind here. It's freaking me out.
All
We're going to talk about Giancarlo Esposito's role in Captain America. He's being a villain.
What?
We're going to talk about the Deadpool popcorn bucket.
Oh, yeah.
We're also going to talk about Sony Pictures are moving to do more AI stuff.
Great.
Yeah, that's good, isn't
I've
it?
decided to embrace that. That sounds great.
We're going to talk about Knives Out 3.
That sounds great.
And the cast. We're going to talk about Chris Hemsworth joining the Transformers / G.I. Joe universe.
we'll talk about
As
it.
a bloke, maybe.
As a bloke or maybe an Optimus Prime.
We're going to talk about Masters of the Universe casting its He-Man again. I'm going to talk about Tom Cruise getting some delays, plus some trailers for Moana and Wolves, and then they're killing Dungeons and Dragons probably. And then there's more things.
Snuck that
and
one
then
in there.
there's Zack Snyder's doing a 300 show, and then there's a Mummy prequel. This is a lot of news.
There's so much news
I
there,
didn't think there was that much news this week. And then we're going to talk about development deals that creative people have made with big studios, and then they didn't really make anything. But they
Yes,
took
absolutely.
like $200 million. So I think that's great.
And then we'll make fun of them.
Yeah, we'll make
Call
fun
them
of
crooks.
them. That's
Call them
right.
all crooks.
They're all crooks, mate.
And it's all legally above board. We can call them crooks. It's not slander.
Oh, it's fine.
We're saying crooks in the jokey way.
Next week, of course, what are we talking about, Mason?
We're going to watch the movie The Watchers.
That's right.
Who watches The Watchers? Us.
And some of The Acolyte, but not Bad Boys 4.
Okay.
But maybe you'll watch it.
So sorry to disappoint all the bad boys out there. Sorry
Yeah.
to disappoint all the bad boys out there.
Look.
Bad boys and girls.
We all ride together, we all die together.
That's so true.
Bad Boys for life.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching it.
Yeah. We're riding together and dying together and watching The Watchers and some of The Acolyte. But we're not riding together and dying together watching Bad Boys 4.
We refuse.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of news here, so obviously we're allowed to employ the boring buzzer.
Yeah.
Which is where if we find some of that news boring, we just go, boring.
Okay, fine.
We still have to talk about it.
Oh.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows that we
don't
think
want
it's
to.
boring. We don't want to talk about it. We know we're going to bore ourselves and you, but we still have to talk about it because it's on the agenda.
Yeah,
it's
that's
on the
right.
agenda.
But now you know there's time codes below.
That's right.
So this is my deadline.
But you're on about not to skip.
No, you can't.
Even if we hit the boring buzzer,
we're all doing the right thing.
I think that's important, you know? That's right. You wouldn't run a red light even if there was no one there.
No, I wouldn't.
So don't skip our boring news that we all acknowledge is boring.
I might. Deadline reporting, Mason.
Go on.
That
bearing in mind my hands over the buzzer.
Warner
I'm
Brothers.
just itching to try this baby out.
Okay. Warner Brothers R-rated movie Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is expected to take second place in its second week.
I'm saying not boring.
Okay, well, it's going to take about $10 million, which is around 60%. Garfield is going to get ahead. Garfield is going to sneak its way in.
Okay.
According to THR, Furiosa's box office is going to put the brakes on George Miller's next Mad Max movie. The what's it called again? The Wasteland or something.
Yeah, that's right.
It was going to do the Hope and Glory story, maybe.
Yeah. The Wasteland, that wasn't going to be a sequel. It was going to be another prequel. Is that what's
Yeah,
happening?
another prequel.
At one point, he was saying that he was going to do a Mad Max origin story, which of course is Mad Max, but maybe a version that
Even before.
that befits. Oh, even before when he was
Mad
just
Max
a cop.
1978.
He was
or whatever.
just a cop.
He was a bloke.
He's getting a Chico roll.
Yeah.
Down at the milk bar.
Yeah, in Kyneton. Yeah.
He could be in kind.
I mean, this is not surprising. I also just want to say, just reading the comments, and not all of them, but a lot of the comments on our Furiosa review, which I put on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I feel so sad
Go on.
for men and
Yeah.
the way that they consume content.
Do they have to?
Yeah, and they're like, Nobody
Not that
wants.
they have to consume
Nobody wants a
content.
girl boss. Mad Max is a man. It's just, and I honestly, it makes me not want to do this.
Right?
Because it's like genuinely, it's like, this is so sad that you consume media or don't like this.
Boy, this movie didn't have enough Mad Max. Mad Max is all about, this movie was just a bunch of stuff was happening and Mad Max was there briefly. Yeah, that's every Mad Max movie. He just shows up and a bunch of really weird stuff happens and he's like, I'm just a regular guy, I think.
How would a girl live in the wasteland?
I don't know, they are though.
Tina Turner did. She beat Mad Max that time.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's just, look, you don't have to like it. A lot of people don't. We didn't think it was as good as the Fury Road, etc.
But I think I'm going to give it a second watch. I reckon I'm going to get more out of it with a second watch.
Well, I'm going to get less.
Yeah. I saw a bunch of tweets today that were absolutely along the lines of like, oh, actually, if you wanted a big box office, you should have brought Mel Gibson back. Should have brought Mel Gibson back. Have you seen the box office receipts for like the last 10 direct to streaming movies? Well, there isn't any.
Yeah.
Because they're direct to streaming. But it's like,
well, that and just the box office in general it's just not doing well. Like the next thing which will really hit will probably almost certainly be Deadpool and Wolverine.
But
I mean, even if this was called Mad Max, I don't think it would have done much better. I think it would have mostly been the same, honestly.
But also, it's
again,
crazy.
the last one wasn't a huge hit.
It's crazy that this is that they seem to be leaning even more heavily on opening weekend now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you need to. I heard someone refer to it as like this smash and grab kind of policy towards the box office return, where it's you need that.
What was it the Greatest Showman that opened really quite poorly and then they just left it in cinemas and it made $400 million?
Yeah, something like that.
So like why I mean, it's because Hollywood don't know what they're doing for the most part, you know?
Sometimes they know exactly what they're doing. They're better than average.
It's probably true.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to someone at my gym and she's like 26 or whatever. Okay. She said she saw Furiosa and I'm like, oh, you should watch Fury Road. She was like, what? I'm like, oh, there's another one that like... not in a way that's like, you idiot, but honestly, people
sounds a little bit like a gym bro mansplain.
No, I wasn't trying to be like, really. And also, my point is, this is not, like, Mad Max it's like a cult brand, and the last one barely broke even, and this is 9 years later.
That's true.
You couldn't have released a movie like this at a worse time, and it's R-rated. And also, I also think that there are people who are like, I hate girls and don't want to see this. I think that is also a factor, genuinely. I don't think it's the whole thing.
I'm sure I've talked about this on the podcast, but I have a sort of working theory, half-baked, that speaking of He-Man later, like the advent of you watch a cartoon with these characters and you play with the toys as a kid, like that has twisted something in a bunch of people's brains.
Yes.
Where they can only imagine, they've decided they can only enjoy a thing if they can imagine themselves as the main character, and their like breadth of who they can imagine themselves is too small.
Yeah,
you know
okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
They can imagine being an alien or a robot, but they can't imagine being a woman.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's me. Also, you don't have to imagine yourself.
That's what
being
I'm saying.
anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like years ago, you would just go, oh, this is a movie about a woman out in the desert. That seems interesting. I'll watch it. Yeah. But like, there's this generation of men who are just like, I could.
Not all men.
Yeah,
let me just jump in there.
That's right.
Let me just jump to the defense of men, Mason.
Well, I'm going to counter that by saying every man in existence, including us. We look at that and we go, that's not me. I can't.
Yeah.
How do I relate to this? It's not me.
You can't.
That's why they hated Captain Marvel, as I've said, because they were like, what, is she more powerful than me, Thor? I'm Thor. I'm Thor. You know, that's what everybody thought.
That's what I think.
They thought it. But I had a different thought just now.
Also, this is the budgeted too high. It's R-rated.
Yeah,
there's a number of reasons.
We've talked about this, how originally it was going to be like when they did the Matrix multimedia explosion, where Furiosa was going to be an anime, and the video game was going to connect to it, and the comics were going to connect to it, and then Warner Brothers were like, no. Yeah. Even though that worked really well last time.
Yeah. I think also like the idea that this is like a new thing, that like making this female protagonist, etc. Again, like you said, they were going to film these back to back, which they probably should have. Like there was genuine momentum there 9 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now the bloody Furiosa and Mad Max's stunt doubles have divorced.
Oh, what?
The world's over.
I didn't know that.
Didn't we talk about it?
I didn't know they divorced.
I think they got divorced.
Oh, I hope they're all right.
Well,
I hope they're all right, Mason.
They're all right.
Don't you hope they're all right?
They're all right.
Yeah, cool.
They both went to Wasteland of Heaven.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. Which is bad?
Valhalla. They went to Valhalla.
Okay.
That's right.
I mean, it's a shame that we probably won't get another one of these now. Yeah, unless maybe it does. Maybe if it makes $10 million every weekend for the rest of the year, if they leave it in cinemas, which I just don't think it will.
Because they've arranged for that streaming window, haven't they?
This could become a streaming show. There could be a Mad Max streaming show, genuinely on HBO Max or whatever. They
made those decisions to the streaming services a year ago, and now they're unbreakable. I don't know if you've seen this, if you've been in the supermarkets in Australia. They're doing these...
I have been to a supermarket, Mason.
I thought you got all your groceries delivered via Butler. Fancy Butler? Didn't you tell me that the other day? You get all your groceries delivered by fancy butlers with white gloves on?
I do, but like I have previously, prior to being a podcast, I have been to a supermarket.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. But now there's Coke are doing these themed Marvel Coke cans, and I think they're for Captain America... The new one.
I keep getting Sam Wilson Coke cans.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, oh, they're Deadpool and Wolverine because there's a Deadpool and Wolverine. But I think that the agreement with Coke was like Captain America's going to be out now.
This is the window.
So this is the window, and they're not allowed to change it now.
Yeah.
So
they probably sealed all those cans up, and then we're like, this Coke's going to go bad. We got to get rid of them.
It goes really bad.
Let's talk about Marvel, Mason.
Okay.
Because Blade is getting a rewrite.
Why though?
This is via Daniel Richmond, who has a 77.41% accuracy on our Marvel spoilers Reddit. So
I love that. Okay.
I like putting these in because people sometimes don't believe me.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
And you shouldn't.
I don't believe them.
You shouldn't. Blade will apparently undergo some major rewrites with a new undisclosed writer hired for these plans.
This time he's going to fight vampires.
I hope so. Richmond said they're still planning to start production in the fall. This was announced in 2019.
Correct, yes.
It's been 5 years and they haven't written it. Mahershala Ali is 50 now.
I thought you were going to say he's furious, and he should be. Because he signed on this a long time ago. And it seems like the most slam dunk idea of all time.
Vampires.
Just do the first one again. Just make it exactly the same. Just do the exact same movie and re-release it.
Yeah.
And people will watch that. Just go, we're using the same script. It's fine.
Yep. So that's just wild to me. I mean, I get that you want to do it right and you want to do it better than the previous ones because, why do it at all? But I don't understand how they haven't nailed this down yet. Yeah. I really don't get.
Do you think it's because they go, for a little inspiration, we're going to watch the first Blade, and they get to the blood rave, and they go, oh, we actually can't do any better than this. This is the best that Blade has ever been on screen.
It's going ba-bum, 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 ba-bum,
exactly.
I don't think we can do that anymore.
Oh, he stabbed that guy, and he went all puffy.
You did. And he went blah. Yeah. Captain America Brave New World is also getting some reshoots. It's going to run for 22 days. This is according to insiders.
That's too long for a movie, I think.
What, do you reckon? 22 days?
Correct, yes.
Oh, he's very funny, isn't he? Isn't he, everyone? Among the added elements will be new action sequences.
I don't think they should add to that runtime.
Nah, Julius Onar remains the director. That's good that they kept the same director.
Sure,
that's
absolutely.
Good. Apparently, it's not going to be.
I think nothing kills the momentum of like of a movie release for people to know as it's coming out they fired a guy and replaced him with another guy.
Absolutely.
And the guy answering questions at all the press junkets is like, well, I didn't do that bit.
Yeah. It appears
the fired guy did.
Yeah, that's right. Apparently, these reshoots aren't going to be as extensive as Doctor Strange 2. Okay. Those were 6 weeks, nor as expansive and extensive as the Marvels. Apparently, it's also going to cost significantly less in general than the Marvels. The Marvels is like a $300 million movie or something, and that did come out. I can confirm that.
That's right.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Via THR, Giancarlo Esposito is officially on the call sheet. You might have seen some photos of him, Mason.
I didn't. I've seen photos of him.
Yeah, it's basically that. He's in a villainous role.
I've seen the computer version of him from that Far Cry game.
Oh, and also from Community. He's in a computer that time.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Mm-hmm. Comic book movies speculate that he's actually playing Nick Fury's younger brother, Jake Fury.
Okay.
I mean, Prick Fury was right there,
Dick
right?
Fury.
Dick Fury.
Furious Dick.
Yeah.
They could call him.
I didn't even know Nick Fury had a younger brother.
Neither did I.
So there you go, Jake Fury. I wonder which one of his eyes is normal or whatever. Because remember he was like, this week he was like, you're never going to believe who I'm cast as. And
we all went Doctor Doom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's probably Nick Fury's brother maybe.
Okay. Why though?
I don't know.
And this is for the Captain America movie?
Yes.
Okay.
22 days. Bring him in.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
So what do they suggest? Has he always been part of this cast or have they added him in for reshoots?
No, this is new.
This sounds like a disaster.
Maybe. But it's cheap.
Or maybe they're making a perfect movie.
Exactly.
They were like, all we need is Giancarlo Esposito to make a perfect movie.
I like Doctor Strange too, and that reshot for 6 weeks. So this would
True.
be even better because it's shooting for less.
Yeah.
Which is how math is, isn't
But
it?
I mean, realistically, they're not going to be like, we're actually going to shoot for longer than those movies. Because initially we made a much worse movie.
Yeah.
So we're really on damage control here. We're going to have to reshoot everything multiple times.
God, this is exciting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're in a whole new era.
Oh, mate, we are, because we've also got a Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket.
Oh, that's a bit rude, isn't it, maybe?
Is it real? Did it make you laugh?
It made me laugh, but it's not real.
But did it make you laugh, really?
No.
But you saw it and you went, that's good branding. Ryan Reynolds is on it. Speaking of, we did a Red Notice movie commentary. It's live at bigsandwich.co. It's not a joke. We were just watching it again, so we thought, why not just record a movie commentary over the movie Red Notice?
Yeah, absolutely.
And let me tell you, we really... we had a time.
Well, you'd never seen it before.
Full disclosure, no.
And initially you're like,
This is all right.
This is all right. And then you dropped off a cliff very rapidly.
Yes, I did.
I think that's a lot of fun.
It didn't get better.
No, it didn't.
Or stay the same.
No.
It got worse.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, I have a theory about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Go on.
It's not based on anything.
Okay.
It probably won't even happen.
Sure.
I think they're going to do the portal scene from Endgame, but it's going to be everybody from all the Fox Marvel universe that they can get.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
I also thought that.
Did you already say it?
Maybe.
No, I said it first. You heard it here first from me.
All right.
And they're going to be like, look, it's it's
Reed
whoever.
Richards. It's going to be Reed
It's
Richards.
whoever.
It's old Reed Richards.
Yeah, you can film them all on separate days and whatever.
I reckon they might even just go, there's Chris Evans. And it's just Chris Evans. And they just go, pick whichever character you want. Maybe he's the Human Torch, whatever.
Maybe he's Casey Jones.
Maybe he's Casey Jones. Maybe he's his character from...
Push.
Maybe he's Push. Maybe he's his character from...
Cellular.
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he's Cellular. Absolutely.
Maybe
That's
he's
right.
John Cellular.
That's right.
Yeah. I've got Kim Basinger on the phone and I'm here.
That's right.
Remember that movie?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely. Some running at the beach at the end, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Running in fear.
Good movie, maybe.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big joke because everyone's going to put their dick in it or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the big joke.
That is a big joke.
But like the other one had like teeth. It was more
so that's
kind
funnier.
of appropriate. This
It
was
seems
just like
more,
just a giant wide mouth.
yeah,
I don't
sure,
think that caters to many.
Okay.
I assume.
Okay,
I don't want
sure.
to assume anything.
Right,
Maybe
right.
you can poop in it. Maybe that's
the joke. Maybe we've gotten the wrong end of the stick, as it were. And we're like, oh, this is classic, like the June popcorn bucket. But no, it's just for pooing in Wolverine's mouth.
I hate that I said that. This is my THR.
No, you're very proud.
This is my THR. Sony Pictures are apparently going to use AI to produce movies and shows in a more efficient way.
Yuck.
Chief Executive Tony Vinciquerra at an investors conference in Japan said the company is very focused on AI and is mobilizing to adopt the technology into a movie-making process to streamline production. He was quoted as saying, "We'll be looking at ways to use AI to produce films for theaters and television in more efficient ways, using AI primarily. And the agreements that came out of last year's strikes and the agreements that will come out of IATSE and Teamster will define roughly what we're doing with AI." Sony, you're already spiraling.
Right?
I wouldn't do this.
Oh.
This is not the answer. I would say the answer is get some people who know what they're doing.
And we're going to convert all our current capital into Dogecoin.
This is ridiculous.
Isn't it fascinating as well that we always get their what they're telling the public,
Yeah.
and then they go to an investor conference and they just tell these
Yeah.
people with too much money just the dumbest things imaginable.
Also, what does this mean?
And they all applaud, I presume.
And like, what does it mean? Do you just put movie ideas into chat? Give me 9 Morbius spin-off ideas.
Well, I'd say it means nothing. I don't think it means...
that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
it just says that they just...
AI means anything or nothing.
AI is the thing in the zeitgeist, and so they just go to the investors who have a lot of money but no concept of what any of this means, and they go, "We're using AI," and they go, "Oh, that is the latest thing.
Isn't
well
that
done.
something?
I will give you more money." Kind
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah, I don't think it means anything. I mean, because again, if they just go, "We're going to make special effects using AI. We've fed all these movies into the AI." Then what if they use a Marvel movie or a whatever movie and then Marvel sues them? So they're obviously not going to do that.
No.
So is it just feed in their existing movies into AI?
Yeah.
Great.
See what happens.
Yeah. Or is it just a publicly available database of generic? I mean, it's not anything. I don't know why I'm speculating that it's a thing at all. It's nothing. It's just the thing that they've got to be talking about. They would have. I mean, if you search Sony Investor Conference NFT, I bet in the last couple of years we're going to integrate NFTs into the movie going experience. You can get when you get a popcorn bucket that looks like a mouth or a butt, you also get an NFT.
I'm just checking Sony NFT.
Okay, great.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people talking about how through Sony that NFTs are the future of gaming, etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Sony embraces the future. Investing. This is from P2E Game, the website.
Okay. Love those guys.
Do you?
No, I don't know what they are.
This is from a year ago.
Yeah,
Sony embraces the
it's already too late.
Yeah, Sony embraces the future, investing in Web3, NFTs, and metaverse startups. Brilliant stuff. You are absolutely right. You nailed that.
Absolutely. And when did the Folding Ideas video line goes up?
Yeah.
That single-handedly destroyed NFTs. When did that, let's see, when did that come out? That came out 2 years ago.
Well, there you go.
So, way to be ahead of the curve, Sony.
Completely agree.
Well done.
Here's some good news, though. Knives Out 3, Dead Men Tell No Tales has been cast. It's starting filming.
That's right.
Glenn Close, Kerry Washington, Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spanny.
All right, slow it down, brother.
Okay, Andrew Scott.
Thank you. Good. Oh, Andrew Scott for real?
Yeah.
Are these confirmed?
These are confirmed.
So we got Josh O'Connor from Challengers.
Yep.
Kaylee Spaney was from Civil War.
Yes, that's
Glenn
right.
Close is obviously in that season of The Shield.
That's right.
And she was in Warcraft, the movie.
Oh, that was a good movie. Aren't we talking about that this week?
Well, I think we are probably, yeah.
Yeah. Kerry Washington as well, which is in Django, among other things.
Yes.
This is an incredible cast. Also,
Tom Hardy was rumored, but I don't think that's true.
I mean, maybe. I don't think they've announced everybody yet.
Did you see they've...
also, Daniel Craig was in... Not Jeremy. Yeah. Hugh Grant was in the last one, and they didn't announce him.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner's in it. Daryl McCormick.
Now, in the last movie, if you recall, they did a riff on like Jeremy Renner's hot sauce. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, well, they did.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean he's in it as himself?
Oh, I hope so. And Mila Kunis is in it as well.
All
so
right.
that's some of the names.
Okay.
But yeah, as I was saying, Hugh Grant was in the last one. We didn't
That's
know.
true,
So
yeah.
There's probably some hidden surprises who
That's
Daniel
right.
Craig is married to in this one.
Maybe Tom Hardy is in it.
I think this is going to be a bit of a spooky one.
Oh, you
So I
think so?
remember, it just happened. Ryan Johnston took to various social medias and was like, the good thing about this, like who did it, genre, you can set it in all sorts of
And I also saw
environmental-
someone say that the timeline of whodunit movies is often cold one, hot one, spooky one.
Oh, okay.
So that's how this one went.
It is.
Murder on the Orient Express, cold one.
Yep.
Death on the Nile,
Hot
one.
one.
The third one, spooky one.
Curse of the Ghost.
Curse of the Ghost.
Curse of the Spooky
Curse
Ghost.
of Miss Marple's ghost.
Oh, no.
Hercule Poirot fights Miss Marple's ghost to the movie.
God, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
So this is in production now.
Yeah.
How do you think Ryan Johnson casts this sort of stuff? Because is it because is he so far ahead of the curve that he's like, oh, I like Josh O'Connor,
Yeah.
and I'll cast him, and then he's in Challenges, and he goes, oh, good call casting that guy because now
Maybe
he's big.
he is,
or,
yeah.
or does this?
Did the studio go to him and go, this is hot stuff for Ryan Johnson?
Or does he have does he write the movie?
Yeah.
And then he goes, okay, well, obviously we've got Daniel Craig, and then we're gonna cast this person and this person, but I have roles for these character archetypes.
Yeah.
Who can I get?
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees Challenges and he goes, I like that guy. I'll give him a call and see if he's free.
Yeah.
Do you think that's how it goes?
Maybe he did. Maybe he saw Challenges long. I mean, they all see movies early.
They all see
all
movies
these
in
blokes.
advance. Yeah, yeah.
So, you're probably right.
But it's fascinating because, these, or is it just these people are in movies recently because they're coming up in the world, and so he met him, screen tested him for something else.
Mm.
God,
God, I hope Jeremy Renner is playing himself. That would be incredible. God, I love that he's alive. That's awesome.
Me too.
Put him in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Don't
even,
put him in front of a snowplow.
No,
Don't do that.
He would hate that.
Yeah.
It's via Deadline.
That's why don't put him in the cold one.
No, he would
Put him
hate.
in the hot one, if anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Less snowplows.
Mm.
Deadline says that Chris Hemsworth is currently in negotiations for the leading role in the untitled Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie.
I see.
Now, he's currently voicing Optimus Prime in a Transformers 1 animated movie, which is a prequel, but not really. It's its own universe thing.
Okay.
So this makes me think that he's going to be like Duke or something.
He
Or
might
the
be Duke.
Australian G.I. Joe, whoever that
Digger.
is. Yeah, exactly.
Who I believe is exclusive to the Australian G.I. Joe comics.
What?
Yeah, I don't think they have. He's not He's not in.
Did they just put like a hat on a Cooper on like one of the American people for the Australian?
There's no toy, James.
No, I know. I mean for the comic. Did they just like with a marker, Sharpie, just draw a hat on it?
When they did Australian G.I. Joe comics in like the 80s, there was some additional like media made for us, like actual Australian artists and writers made stuff.
They went out of their way.
Yeah. I wonder if he's appeared in any subsequent media. I'm just going to give it a Googs very quickly.
Australian G.I. Joe characters.
Oh, they might. Chuckles might be Australian.
Oh yeah. Apparently, the Air Commando Skymate was born in either Queenstown.
There's Digger. There he is.
Wow, he's so Australian.
So he's got a
Skymate was born in either Queenstown, South Australia, or Queenstown, Tasmania. God, you just don't know, do you? Yeah.
G'day. Round here, I'm known as Digger.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm on guard duty outside the Australian G.I. Joe base near Exmouth, Western Australia.
Are you?
All right. No, Digger is. I'm not. I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say. I didn't think.
Oh, Larry Hama wrote this. Or did he just... it says Larry... this is from the first issue of the Australian G.I. Joe comic.
Yeah.
It says story Larry Hama and David DeVries. I'm going to guess Larry Hama wrote the American content of this.
Oh, okay,
and David DeVries wrote this bit.
Gotcha, that makes... The bit where he goes, "G'day, mate, I'm standing in Perth," or whatever.
G'day, look at me.
Yeah.
I've got a billy on the
Billy
on the fire.
boil. I got a cup of gum leaf stew.
I got a goon bag on the Hills hoist. That's what I'm drinking on duty. You can't stop me.
Why not? It's Perth. Who cares?
Anyway, I'm here with my good mate. What's that guy? What's that guy's name?
Chris Hemsworth?
No, this would have been a perfect joke if I'd named that guy who did all those war crimes. What's that guy's name?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
hyphenated name.
Yeah.
What's his name?
David something. No.
Something Robert Smith?
Yeah, Ben Robert Smith.
G'day, it's me, Digger. I'm here with Ben Robert Smith.
God, that would have
my
been
best mate.
That would have been a great joke.
Oh my God. Allegedly did those war
No,
crimes?
he didn't. It was confirmed in court. But it's okay because another guy went to jail for it.
Oh,
not him.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're just pushing a guy off a cliff.
Are we?
We're gonna. It's me, Digger. I'm gonna drink him. I'm gonna bloody sink some piss out of this guy's prosthetic leg.
Fuck, what a monster.
Yeah.
And again, not in jail.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think? Chris Hemsworth
I forgot what we were talking
in a Transformers G.I. Joe movie? You up for it?
Yeah, I'd have him be Duke.
Yeah.
He's got the stature of a Duke or a Hawk.
Yeah.
I
still think they should have made John Cena Duke.
Yeah, they can make him Duke or Hawk.
Because he was in Bumblebee and you bring it back around
absolutely,
and whatever. Yeah.
Or do you think he's the voice of Optimus Prime?
No, I don't think so.
There's got to be a point. There's got to be a turning of the. There's got to be
there has to be, but I don't think they would.
Passing of the torch.
I think this negotiations wouldn't just be for a voice role. I might be wrong, but I think they're looking for like an action movie star to lead.
And also, I would say this: if they're really trying to churn a hit, like they're trying to get back to the glory days, the Michael Bay days of Transformers.
Well, you should have made more good movies.
Well, they didn't. But you would want Peter Cullen, I think.
Yeah, I think
so.
Like
you want to start on the right foot, and if you're like, yeah, we're going to make a Transformers G.I. Joe movie, and Peter Cullen is not the voice of Optimus Prime, people would be mad. I mean, they're going to be mad anyway, no matter what.
I think, the only way you do that is if Peter Cullen, is like, I'm too old to do this. Or, I think then that people would be okay with him not doing it. If he was like, look, I'm retiring from this. Yeah. But he's not. He'll do it forever.
Yeah. Digger here is saying on this page, I don't mean to get back to this, but I haven't seen this comic in years.
You do mean to get back to it. It's also in black and white.
He says this is
so you can colour it in.
He's talking about the G.I. Joe base, and he says this is one of Australia's best defence installations against the terrorist bludgers known as Cobra.
Bludgers?
I would say they're
working hard.
They're working so hard.
Yeah, bludgers, for people who don't know, is somebody who's
doesn't work hard.
Takes money from the government.
A loafer.
Yeah. They're everywhere, those blokes. What is he talking about?
Yeah, I know. They're doing. You ever read any of those G.I. Joe comic, the American ones? They're always doing multi-level marketing.
It's crazy.
They're working hard.
They've
Cobra.
got blimps.
Yeah.
They've got blimps,
and I believe in their cause.
Do you?
I think they're cool.
Yeah, that's
Cobra's cool.
I'm not against it, to be honest. I mean, we've got Ben Warren Smith on our G.I. Joe team, so it kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
It sure does. Sure does.
God, war is complicated.
I agree.
And that includes the war in the Masters of the Universe, Mason.
Nice, good segue.
It's by THR. Nicholas Galitzine has been cast as He-Man in the upcoming Masters of the Universe, which is going to be directed by Travis Knight, who did Bumblebee. Okay. Remember the synopsis of this? It introduces a 10-year-old Prince Adam who crash landed to Earth in a spaceship, and he's separated from his magical power sword, and that's the only link back to his home of Eternia. And after tracking it down after almost 2 decades, Prince Adam is whisked back to space to defend his home planet against the evil forces of Skeletor. But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. So it's Thor.
Wow, why don't you tell me the whole movie?
It's Thor.
Why don't you tell me the whole movie,
It's
James?
original Thor.
It is Thor, and it's Thor, and it's kind of
Flash Gordon.
the last Starfighter.
Isn't originally He-Man's mum supposed to be from Earth? Wasn't that the
I
story?
don't know.
This could be all right, though. I like Travis Knight.
Yeah, what's the actor's name?
Nicholas Galitzine, who's in... I saw him and I went, oh, yeah, I know him.
Gallitz, okay.
He was in Bottoms, but he was also in... Oh, The Idea of You.
Oh, he's the
He's
He's the quarterback in Bottoms.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that works. Okay, sure.
I mean, he has to get bigger.
He's got to be huge and
He's got to
blonde.
be He-Man, and I'm He-Man.
He's got to be
has
huge
bigger.
and blonde and in a pink shirt.
Yeah, put him in a pink shirt. Do you think they'll CGI up his muscles and then be like, don't work out?
No.
Don't work out because you're going to be Prince Adam, you'd be small, and then
No.
you'd be He-Man, you'd be big.
I think they're going to go.
Don't work out.
I think this time around they're going to go. Okay, this time we're going to go public about the steroids.
Yeah.
You're going to be on steroids, and we're going to. This is a marketing push. We're going to tell
We're
everybody.
going to live stream you taking steroids.
That's right. And we're going to say you got big. Whenever anybody asks how you get so big, say steroids.
Yeah, I'm doing steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, this might happen.
Absolutely might
Because
happen.
we know big brands from the
Yep.
80s are working at the moment.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And 70s.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you think this is going to be self-aware, like in a Barbie style? Because obviously
No.
they can't go now. Well, He-Man's actually a toy. Actually,
I think it'll be the
Sincere?
tone of Bumblebee. Travis Knight. That
mostly
thing.
sincere, but a little bit jokey. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I think
Yep.
that's why he got it, because he
Yeah,
did
right.
Bumblebee, and Bumblebee was
Okay.
good.
Yeah. How do you feel about starting on Earth?
No, I don't like
Well,
it.
too bad.
But
It's
also,
going to be 20 years of him on Earth.
you can change it. Also, I don't care that much about He-Man,
Yeah.
to be honest. I mean,
Would you say you don't care at all about He-Man?
no, I care a little bit. I watched the new Masters of the Universe show or whatever. I watched that video that
Oh,
guy
yeah.
made in a Skeletor mask about us one
Yeah,
time.
no, you didn't watch. You didn't watch that.
I
Nobody
skimmed
did.
it. I skimmed it.
Okay, all right.
Maybe.
All right.
I definitely opened it because somebody sent it to us or something.
right.
This is by The Mirror. It says, you're ugly.
Whoa. But you're reading that, James.
Yes, I know.
Wow.
I know. It says a lot about me, doesn't it?
I think it does. Yeah, that's right.
Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible series has hit further delays. He's been filming this for 10 years, this
He
latest
really
movie.
has, yeah.
Thanks to a malfunction with a 23 million pound submarine.
That's a
Not the weight, the amount it's worth.
That is such a classic Mission Impossible delay.
Absolutely.
We had problems with our submarine.
Because remember, there's an AI in a submarine and it's going
course I
to
do.
get us.
Yeah.
Sources say the gimbal, which is used to lower the 120 feet high structure, jammed under its weight and had to be repaired. This had put filming back weeks and bumped up costs. A source says they're not happy. They're not happy as it puts production behind and it costs money. That's what they say.
Wow.
They don't like this.
Wow. A source or just somebody guessing?
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Seems bad.
I'd be more inclined to believe it was a source if the source was like, yeah, everybody's happy about this. They're loving this. They're loving the downtime.
They were hoping this would
actually.
happen.
Yeah, that's right. I think Tom Cruise sabotaged it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he wants to spend more time on set with his friends.
Does he?
Yeah. He's like,
good.
this might be the last one. I want to spend more time with Ving Rhames.
This could be the last one for a while at least.
yeah.
Because again, the last one didn't do super well. And I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
And it cost $500 million.
It costs
or
too
whatever.
much money. Trailers Ahoy,
We
though.
wish them well.
Yeah.
We wish them well.
Bless them.
Yes.
Trailers Ahoy?
Here come those trailers.
We got two. I know you didn't watch one for Moana 2.
I did not watch
I
that.
did.
no.
I am excited for this. I love that first Moana movie, but it also was a streaming show that they've repackaged into a movie.
Okay,
I would
right.
like to be surprised because I think Moana is a genuinely wonderful movie, and I would like this to be a good movie too.
I would like that too for you
Thank you. I appreciate
and your
that.
children who probably watch this movie.
They do like Moana.
Interesting.
Second Moana,
Okay.
hopefully.
What's the deal with those guys?
Who, Moana?
Yes.
Maui?
Yes.
What do you mean, those guys?
They got magic powers or what's going on?
Some of them, no, mostly not.
Interesting. So it's just people hanging
they're set
out.
in like in Fijian islands,
Okay.
right? In that
I ask because
area.
there's often a mermaid boy or whatever in these movies.
There's no, that's Luca.
Yeah, I know.
Moana has like a connection to the ocean, so the ocean like assists her. But she's not magic in herself. But the
Okay,
ocean
right.
helps her.
She's just friends with the
And
ocean.
Maui's like a demigod.
Okay. She just spent her life sucking up to the ocean.
No, she didn't realize that the ocean liked her so much, and she's drawn. You should watch it. She's drawn to the ocean because she wants to explore.
She's been negging the ocean.
yes.
For some time. The ocean's really trying to impress her.
Yeah, and it's working.
Okay.
And then, but if you go out in the ocean, there's all mystical big crabs and
Oh, yeah, okay.
coconut men and
Under the Sea and so forth.
etc.
Right. Is it a musical?
Yes.
Interesting.
Lin-Manuel Miranda did the first one, and somebody else is doing this one. I can't remember who. We also got a trailer for
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No, not him.
Ghostface from the Wu-Tang Clan.
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
I knew it was somebody. Wolfs
Wolfs.
got a trailer.
Now, this is John Watts directing this.
Spider-Man's
So he
own.
directed the most recent Spider-Mans.
Yeah, and he did a movie called Clown where a dad puts on a clown suit and then the clown suit is cursed and gets stuck to him and turns him into a demon clown.
And
It's
did he
pretty
do a
good.
movie called Cop Car?
Cop Car with Kevin Bacon, yes.
right.
That one I haven't seen.
Yeah. So this is this is interesting.
This reminds me of Ocean's 11.
It reminds me also of Ocean's 11 because it's got Clooney and Pitt.
That's what reminds me of it. That's the part that reminds me.
And what's interesting is that it's the first thing that I thought of after watching this is it's interesting. It's a movie called Wolfs about a guy who cleans up murder scenes, and it doesn't have Harvey Keitel in it.
Maybe it does.
Maybe it does have Harvey Keitel in it.
Yeah.
Because that is, of course, his role in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he's Mr. Wolfs.
Yes. So this is about two wolves.
Yeah.
Who maybe in the
Do you
movie.
think they should have called it Wolves?
No.
Okay.
No. I think they should have called it Wolf's $. I think maybe in this universe, because Clooney and Pitt play two kind of crime cleanup guys.
Yeah.
If you've committed a murder or whatever, and you need some guys to remove all the evidence, you get one of these guys in, and they get double booked essentially, and then the situation spirals out of control, and action.
God.
Do you think they're named Wolves in this movie in honor of the character from Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
Okay,
Unless that's something from
real life.
Pulp Stories and etc.
Yeah,
from
maybe it
before
is. Okay,
Pulp
yeah.
Fiction, But
Yeah.
maybe.
Interesting star power.
Why is that? What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, it's just I guess I just wouldn't have expected a guy who's directed 3 Marvel movies to be directing like a new thing that he's written and directed and produced, but it's got Clooney and Pitt in it.
Yeah.
What drew them in? I guess the script, but how do you even get in a room? I guess you point at all the money your movie's made.
This feels like a guy like this would normally make one of those not real Apple TV movies.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and maybe it has
agree.
that vibe when you actually see it. But
It doesn't feel like that though.
no, it
when
doesn't.
watching
No,
the
it feels like a
trailers.
real movie.
It's interesting when
Yeah.
you watch a real movie.
Right.
But I don't think, has Clooney or Brad Pitt done one of those not real movies? Because I feel like they haven't.
Clooney did that one with Julia Roberts.
Yeah, but that was
went
sort
to,
of a rom-com.
That was a rom-com and that actually went to
Yeah.
theaters.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Pitt's done a lot of bad stuff, but also
Yeah.
in movies and real life.
Yeah.
And but he did Bullet Train. That's the closest
Yes.
he got, but that got a cinema release.
It did. It went to cinemas.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
don't know. But anyway, I'm looking
Maybe we'll look at it.
sort of maybe looking forward to it. And if you like, I don't like one of those people because of all the alleged stuff they've done.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to watch it, buy a ticket for something else and just
That's
walk
right.
into the
Just
cinema.
go and see it anyway.
Yeah.
Watch it. Buy a ticket for Venom 3 and then go and see this.
Yeah.
They're going head to head, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
By a deadline. Hasbro Entertainment wants to shop its live-action Dungeons & Dragons series around to other streaming platforms and production partners because the movie came out and Hasbro were like, we're doing a Dungeons & Dragons universe. It's going to be everywhere.
We've got this IP we're going to explore.
And the movie was good, but nobody saw it.
Correct.
So apparently, because of this, the cancelled project it was going to be cancelled, and it's going to get a redevelop with a brand new creative team at the helm. This is dead.
Okay, sure.
This
right.
is done. We're never going to see this.
Ah.
This is it's too much of a gamble. And they're going to get a new creative team and give it to somebody else to do it.
Yeah, okay,
I don't
right.
think so. What do you think?
That somebody else is Mr. Rubbish Bin.
Oh no,
That's right.
He's never directed anything good.
That's right.
'Cause he's
He
a
directed
bin.
Bullet Train.
Did he?
Yep.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. That was David Leitch.
He did The Fall Guy.
I know.
Which went to streaming.
Almost immediately, yeah. Like 3 weeks it got or something?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Ridiculous. What are you doing?
I don't know.
When do you think studios are going to catch up to the idea? Because every second video essay I watch on YouTube about this sort of stuff is, here's the biggest mistakes they're making.
Yep.
We can all see it.
Yep.
Why have they not clued into this
You know
yet?
what I think they need to do?
Get us involved.
Get us involved. But they need to retrain audiences to not expect things to go to streaming.
Yeah.
They should put something out, and they have to do this for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Because that's how long it took to get here. And say, you will see this at home in a year.
Yeah.
And like that's how it used to be.
Used
like
to be,
6
yeah.
months to, or closer to 6 months.
Yeah.
And just really drive it home that
Yeah.
you will not see this. And in the process of reteaching everybody this,
Yes.
there's going to be a lot of failures and people being like, oh, I wanted to watch that or whatever. And when's it out on streaming? It's not.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And you basically have to retrain It's like teaching an old dog
Yeah.
a new trick. Us, the audience.
That's right.
But again, I don't think they would be willing to take the hit on that. Because in the short term, that's a dreadful strategy.
Exactly, and I think they'd probably also think, well, people are going to watch this on streaming because they have a vague remembrance of it being at the movies. Oh, this is a movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie, and I'll watch it on streaming. But if you move it further out, they forget that it was ever in the movies.
Yeah, that's right.
So
what do you do?
we're doomed.
Yeah, we're doomed. So
We're
we're stuck in
doing
this
great.
cycle.
Wow. Well, I saw it at the movies, so it's not my fault.
Which movie are we talking about?
Some of them.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I saw that also at the movies.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. We saw. Well, I mean, we see most things, don't we?
So true.
Because we're good people.
We're good people.
Yeah, but like I also understand like why people don't want to. It costs money, and there's food on top of that. And if you're going with your family, it makes a lot of sense.
Apparently, in the US, there's a couple of cinema chains have like unlimited passes.
Oh.
You pay a certain amount a month or a year, and you can see as many movies as you want. We don't have that.
You can do that if you wave a gun as you walk in.
Oh, that's true, isn't it?
You'll
Yeah.
see at least some of one movie.
Yeah. Or you could just do what happens at my local cinemas. You just go in during the day, and there's only one guy working. He's at the candy bar, and you just walk through.
Yeah, and he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Sometimes they even just wave to you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, hello.
Yep.
I'm like, all right.
All right.
When I didn't mention this, but when I saw Mad Max, we have allocated seating. Yeah, as where most places do. And I went in there, and there was like 3 people in there. When I booked it,
And all 3 were sitting in your single seat,
not quite
stacked up.
When I booked it, I was probably 20 minutes before, and it was probably about an hour before, and there was nobody. I picked my seat. I went in there. A guy had picked a seat directly next to mine.
Nice.
What the fuck is wrong? Why would you do that?
No, that's
like,
crazy.
And then I thought maybe a cinema employee did
it.
this.
That was, yeah.
Like, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, because I'm not obviously going to sit there.
Yeah.
You can switch your seat on the app. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
But I'm just like, it just blows my. If he chose that,
Yeah.
that's an insane person. Why would you do that? That's wild, right?
Do you remember you had to go and you had to talk to a cinema employee to buy a ticket?
Yeah.
And then I always go, where do you want to sit? And you'd go, I don't know, in the middle-ish towards the back. Like everybody does.
Yeah.
You know what? Build more seats that are just in the middle towards the back. All right. Build every seat in the middle towards the back, except for one seat at the front where a really old guy will sit, like right at the front.
God, cinemas. That's why we go.
The experience.
Genuinely, every time I walk in, I'm like, "What's this going to be?"
Right,
I have,
yeah.
and it's 50% of the time it's something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or a variation on that. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when I went to see Challenges,
Yeah.
I went by myself and I did consider, like there were a bunch of couples going and I did consider getting just one seat
He
next to
played
one
chicken
of them.
with me.
Yeah.
This guy, do you think he was?
Maybe, yeah.
God. I wanted to ask him genuinely, like, what are you doing? Hey,
Yeah.
man, do you walk around like this? Did you do this on purpose?
Right?
Is this a
Do you want to make a friend?
Yeah.
Because it's not happening. I will sit as far away as possible from you.
Anyway, Variety says that there's a 300 series in development based on the movie 300.
Okay.
Exact plot details, they're still being
Exact
worked
plot
out.
details.
Well, that's funny you should say that.
It is funny.
Sources say that Zack
He said
Snyder...
I was funny earlier and he said it again.
Yeah, he's in talks to direct and produce, but the show would serve as a prequel to the 2006 film.
I can't wait for 300, but it's before everybody mutated, so it's just normal looking guys.
300 normal men, and nobody's coming.
That's right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, and nobody's worked out.
Nobody's worked it. They don't need to.
They don't need to because there's no threat on the horizon.
If this is true, is his Netflix shit done?
Oh.
Going back to the well?
No, because he can produce and direct at the same time, I would imagine. This would be a supervising producer thing.
No, it
would
says direct also.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to something, you take a bit of a hit and you go back to...
You hit and you quit.
You hit and you quit. Mm-hmm. And you go back to something safe.
Yep.
Oh, Ollie's trying to get out.
Yep.
Don't worry about it, everyone. I'll get it. Don't get up. I'll get it. Jeez. Doing all the work here. Unbelievable.
That's right, folks. He just told his butler to let the dog out.
Oh, God, it's hard. You know when you just want them to do things.
Here we go. Here comes something unrelated.
No, it's...
Oh.
I was talking about the butler.
Yes.
I'm in your riff.
Oh, okay, right.
You want them to kind of take initiative. It's
Sure.
hard training a butler, is
That's
what I'm
so
saying.
true. That's right.
It's real hard. Anyway, 300 series. Interested? It'll be cheap. Filming in a blue room. It's done.
So true, isn't it?
Take a minute. Yeah.
Film it on the cheap in a blue screen. Everybody's wearing those He-Man Halloween costumes.
Perfect.
With the fake muscles.
I love that. This news is I've just
Who's going to want to commit to a 10-episode run where you have to get massively ripped and just stay ripped for months and months and months
You
at a
pick
time?
guys who are already like that.
Yeah, right, okay.
And then they're mostly background dudes.
Okay, sure.
And
right.
then you get a couple name people to be up front.
I reckon there's going to be a lot of elaborate armor that covers most of them.
I hope so. Mm-hmm. That's how I like my movies. This news I've titled, last bit of news, Oh No, by Daniel Richmond's Patreon.
Oh, now he's quite reliable.
77%, if I recall.
Yeah.
There's a Mummy prequel movie in development.
But then again, every clock's 70% right twice a day, isn't it?
Is that true?
Yeah, so true, yeah.
The Mummy prequel movie in development at Universal with Wes Took, who wrote Midway and The Rescue, writing the script. I hate this.
Midway?
Midway was...
Is that a war movie?
Yeah, Well, there was a Midway movie in like the 70s, but this was a newer one.
I think, sort of vaguely remember it.
Who was in it? I think, what's his name from Moonfall was in it.
Gerard Butler?
No, he was in the other one.
The other guy. The Game of Thrones guy?
No, Jason... What the hell's...
Night Owl.
No, not that guy. That you're thinking of Day the Earth Froze. Patrick Wilson.
Night Owl.
He's not Night Owl.
Yes, he is.
Patrick Wilson is not Night Owl.
In Watchmen.
Oh, I'm thinking of fucking
Mate, you've lost it.
I'm thinking of Nightcrawler.
Wow,
I have lost it. You're right. God, am I an idiot?
Yes.
God. I think the
Why don't you ask Jeeves? You should have asked Jeeves, which is the actual name of your actual butler.
It's not his real name. It's just what I call
Yeah.
him. What do you think about this? A mummy movie, but a prequel. Presumably with no mummies.
God. Before the mummy gets out, yeah. We're trying
Is
to
that mummy going to get out? Well, he hasn't yet.
Wow. I mean, we haven't found it. As far as we know, it's just regular. As far as we know, it's just a dead guy wrapped up in a box. All his organs pulled out.
I guess maybe...
And at the end of every episode, we just see a close-up of the sarcophagus and nothing happens.
I guess it could be like in ancient times, etc. Imhotep's rise to power.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm presuming if they're saying prequel to the Mummy, it's going to be like set in the 30s or whatever, right?
Maybe
or the late 20s.
It's set in the 30s and it's kind of it's like a X-Files procedural in the 30s, and every week they find some supernatural.
What's Rick O'Connell up to this time?
Except shows don't do that anymore.
No, they don't do it anymore.
The X-Files used to do Monster of the Week and ongoing storyline.
Yeah.
But now most shows just do ongoing storyline and nothing interesting week to week.
Doctor Who's mixing it up a bit. Let's keep that formula. We could talk about that a bit later. Anyways, let's move it along. Now, last week we talked about Phoebe Waller-Bridge's development deal at Amazon, how she's doing Tomb Raider or whatever. And you brought up the interesting point of like, how does these work?
Yes.
Do people just take $200 million and never do something? Sometimes.
Sometimes they do, and good on them.
I've done some research, and with the help of the Great Mates group on Facebook,
Terrific.
of some of these deals that have happened.
All right.
And some are more kind of, done more than others.
Okay.
But there's some fascinating entries here where
Some have done less than others.
No one's keeping an eye on these people.
Absolutely
basically,
not.
But we are.
No.
We're exposing them. We're taking the lid off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, also, I should point out, sometimes this is affected by like COVID or one company buys another or the writer's strike. It's not always because...
They stole the money.
Yeah, they stole the money or whatever. And also, like, working with a studio, I'd imagine you'd pitch a bunch of stuff and they're like, nah. And then you pitch another thing and they go, nah. And then 4 years pass.
And you've run out of money.
Yeah,
you've run out of the money they gave you.
Exactly.
Because you paid yourself $20 million a year.
That's right. So we're going to talk about, we'll start with this one, David Benioff and Dan Weiss, who I think also have been prolific.
Okay.
It's just kind of taken a while to get things moving.
Right, so they were the showrunners on Game of Thrones.
They're the GOT boys.
Okay, we were the GOT bros.
That's true.
But so they initially
They wrapped up Game of Thrones to do Star Wars.
they were told, if I remember correctly, by HBO, you have as much time and as many seasons and as much money as you want to wrap up Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
If you want to take 10 more years, you can do that.
You should.
And they went, no, we'll do it in 8 episodes. It's
Yeah.
fine. And then they knocked that one out.
They did.
They squirted that one out.
Yeah.
That last season of Game of Thrones.
And they inked a deal with Star Wars in February, or Lucasfilm in February of 2018. And they were going to do a story of the first Jedi, how the Jedi Order came to be.
Okay.
The first lightsabers, etc.
Wow.
So that's cool, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. God, we get to see the first lightsaber.
Yeah, that's
What
cool.
color would it have been?
Oh, blue.
It would have been blue, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine, though?
Yeah. That is the default.
Can you
colour,
imagine
isn't
the
it?
music that would have happened when
Standard
the lightsaber
Star
went?
Wars
Yeah.
music? Probably some John Williams.
Probably, most likely, John Williams.
Yeah.
But then, of
Or
course...
some Devo.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Whippets. Maybe the departure from the form. Just some Devo.
Why not?
Maybe some B-52s.
But then, of course, this is interesting, Mason. In
I've got a lightsaber. The first lightsaber. You know? Exactly.
They in 2019, so just a year later, they took a deal with Netflix, a $200 million Netflix deal. And apparently, Kathleen Kennedy was not happy about this over at Star Wars. She said she was not convinced that they could create a trilogy. Oh, they were doing a trilogy, by the way.
Oh, terrific.
Of Star Wars while overseeing projects at the streaming giant. This was also around the time.
Now I've got a lightsaber. It's a red lightsaber.
Is that the second one?
That's the second one because they got to build some conflict. Yeah. So they got to find the history of the Sith. You know.
So that I think also they left because of the Game of Thrones didn't end well, and I think Star Wars also they're constantly reshuffling everybody. In October of 2023, there was an article from the Hollywood Reporter that said Benioff and Weiss's Star Wars exit had been in the works since August, and THR affirms that the reason they wound up walking away. One of the reasons because they
had enough money and they didn't have to make it.
They didn't have to do it. One of the decisions was because they didn't want to deal with another toxic fandom. Yeah, like those Game of Thrones fans.
Did no one warn them ahead of time?
No.
Let's just go from the toxic fandom of Game of Thrones to that just land of safety that is Star Wars.
Well, what's interesting about the game?
They seem all right.
Yeah, they
those
seem
guys.
fine.
Yeah.
What's interesting about the Game of Thrones fandom is and I know the books were popular-ish. Like they built that fandom.
That's true.
So that fandom was their own fandom.
It was pretty niche until how many Game of Thrones books did I know it's called The Song of Ice and Fire. How many did he sell prior to Game of Thrones?
Oh, mate, I have no idea.
But would you say it was a ton?
It was significant, yeah.
Okay,
it was pretty significant. It was one of the more significant fantasy genres, Mason. Genres with a J.
Yeah. If you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
That's true.
I just love.
You having a good time?
I am having such a good time. I love doing the B-52's guy's voice. What's his name? I'll find it.
So they have done some stuff on Netflix though, because of course the 3 Body Problem came out.
That's true. Then it's good.
And that took 3 years to make.
That's got the guy from Moonfall.
It does. That took 3 years to make, and it was received fairly well. They probably shouldn't have dumped it all at once. And they're only doing 3 seasons. There's 3 books and there's 3 seasons. They've also done the Metal Lords, produced a show called Metal Lords and another TV show called The Chair on
Metal
Netflix.
Lords and The Chair.
Which apparently also good, maybe, some of them. Also, what I thought was interesting, they also had a show called Confederate, which was announced in 2017.
Oh, is that the one where it's an alternate future and the Confederacy won the war or something?
So the South won the first of 2 civil wars, creating a new nation where slavery is legal, and it became a modern institution. And the story follows a broad swath of characters on both sides. Freedom fighters, slave hunters, politicians, abolitionists, journalists, and executives of a slaveholding conglomerate and the families of people in their thrall.
And they made this or they didn't make it? Well, there was a backlash.
The people went, don't. And they went, all right.
Yeah, the only backlash
don't.
The only backlash that seems to work, which is when just everybody goes, don't. You can feel it. You can feel the entire internet go, don't. And they go, all right, we won't.
And that's both sides coming together.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, I would say they don't really count in terms of not doing a thing. Okay. I guess you could say Star Wars.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And look, when I went to the Great Mates group, there were a lot of people who just named individual movies that didn't happen. Right. But I'm looking for more they signed on to do multiple things.
Yes.
And they did one or none.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
really what I'm kind of looking at here.
Do you have a Mr. JJ Abrams in there somewhere?
This is my next one.
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah.
So he had
Get that bag, JJ Abrams.
This one was kind of interesting to look at.
You underdog, you.
Because it's all over the place.
Uh-huh.
He had a $250 million development deal.
Hello, Ollie.
Ollie just kicked the door down and came in.
Because we mentioned JJ Abrams.
Yeah.
Ollie loves JJ Abrams' signature directing style.
True.
You know?
Frantic.
Yep.
I like
Kerry Russell is there.
I like him.
Yeah,
I don't like
same.
all of his stuff, but I like his movies.
He's
and
good at
TV
starting
shows.
things, isn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had a.
I even like Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
I think that set the new tone. Also, we've talked about it, but that's why the Mission Impossible movies are what they are. It's because of that movie.
Yeah.
That's the one where it pivots. So he had a $250 million development deal at Warner Brothers, which was very badly timed for Warner Brothers because that was in September of 2019, which was 2 months before what? Star Wars 9.
Oh, yeah, that one was bad.
Yeah. But JJ Abrams is via Variety, and Bad Robot closed a 5-year deal for him to keep his TV business and movies film business under the Warner Media umbrella. The wide-ranging pact, which runs through the 2024,
That's this year.
also includes games and digital content. Apple.
Do you think he has to produce something by the end of this year?
he's
and he's
got
just
to.
scrambling?
Yeah. Well, he tried.
He's sweating.
We'll talk about it. But
He's calling up Kerry Russell and Greg Grunberg, and he's like,
we're doing Felicity
We're
again.
going to do Felicity again. We're going to do Felicity meets Alias. Does anybody have Jennifer Garner's new phone number?
Apple apparently strongly pursued an overall deal with Bad Robot. But
We can't afford Bradley Cooper anymore.
sources at the time suggested Abrams turned down about $500 million at Apple because of its exclusivity. So that would have meant that he's had to do stuff just at Apple.
Yeah, right.
Now, he also, through this deal with Warner Brothers, he got to produce other stuff under other production companies, which is why he still produces the Mission Impossible movies, or some of them. I don't know where they're at with that. He did Lovecraft Country, he was involved in.
Oh, yeah.
Batman the Caped Crusader, which is now moving to Amazon.
Oh, yep, that's
But
right.
his name is on that. Apparently in May of 2023, this is via THR, David Zaslav, normal man who runs Warner Brothers.
So normal.
He was frustrated with the lack of delivery from the deal.
I'm so frustrated he hasn't delivered the content we demand
Yeah.
for Max, our premium streaming service.
But there might be some reasons. He did try to get the show off the ground called Denouement.
Okay.
And it would focus on Olive Reed, sorry. A woman who's torn away from her husband and daughter in a brutal scientific accident. I presume just like an explosion that separated
Probably
them.
explosion.
She probably flew over the river.
Absolutely.
And then they're on different rivers, sides.
Oh, yeah, and one's got a chicken and one's got a fox. They've only got one boat. How are they going to solve this problem?
God.
Maybe by the end of the first season, they'll have a stick.
A bag of grain.
Bag of grain. They'll find that bag of grain. It's got numbers on the bag.
This
What
is
does
more
it mean?
complicated now.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
right.
bag. It was easier with just the chicken and the fox.
Because I would have liked some of that grain. They should call it the chicken and the fox.
That's what they should. But
But it's a metaphor because the man and the woman are the chicken and the fox.
oh my God.
That's right.
Code names Chicken and Fox.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. She's forced to unravel
It's Kerry Russell and Greg Grunberg.
Of course.
Yeah.
Forced to unravel a conspiracy to reunite with her family, now lost to a dark, distant other world across the river
That's right.
with a fox.
Yep.
Sources say that sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that the budget for HBO's Denouement, which has been in the works since 2018, is a source of contention. Abrams' Bad Robot was looking to spend $200 million.
That's not his production company, by the way. That's his actual bad robot. Who
Still-
makes all his financial decisions.
Really?
Yeah.
Get a good one.
We should buy another Ferrari.
All
no
right.
robot. I don't know.
No, I'm doing it. Doing it.
Yes, let's crash the Ferrari.
This was cancelled, Mason.
Okay.
THR said, this is...
What do you think, Fred Schneider from the B-52s? Buy that Ferrari. Anyway. Yes, I am having a good time.
So it was cancelled in June of 2022, and Abrams made a last-ditch plea to HBO, the bosses, the boss Casey Bloys, to spare the
Fake name.
I
Fake
agree.
person.
To spare the drama from cancel.
Who did you talk to
cancellation.
at HBO? Casey Bloys?
Oh yeah, what division? Top.
All right, well, that checks out.
I'm down at the top of the elevator. So that's done. Also, at the same time, they launched an audio division and an exclusive multi-year deal with Spotify in 2021.
And as with all deals relating to Spotify, nothing happened.
Yeah, so it's called Bad Robot Audio, and it
Okay.
would develop and it produce.
It's just modem noises.
You
You
could use the Bad Robot. That's
That's
the
what
perfect
I'm saying,
opportunity.
yeah.
It would develop and produce original scripted and unscripted audio content again in 2021. As far as I can tell, nothing has happened.
Of course
here.
it didn't, because it's
Yeah.
Spotify.
Unless it's like been buried in the algorithm.
Yeah,
But
right.
I looked on Spotify, I could not find anything.
Nothing, not even Bad Robot Productions.
Yeah. So
So does Mr. JJ Abrams get a pass here?
Well-
He's produced some stuff then.
I think Star Wars just like fucked it for him, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And then the writers
Thus far,
block,
it seems
etc.
to be that is the...
Also, he's with Warner Brothers. They're dreadful. They don't know what they're doing. So I don't think it's just him.
Uh-huh.
Also, his TV stuff, I would say, on the whole, is pretty good. Or at least starts good. Felicity, probably.
Sure.
Lost. Alias.
Yeah, that's right.
Denouement. Warner Brothers has suspended overall deals since September of 2023 with A-list marquee producers, which included Greg Berlanti, Bill Lawrence, Chuck Wells, Chuck Lorre, John Wells, sorry, Chuck Lorre.
Do you think it's
Mindy
ironic,
Kaling.
James, if I may?
Yeah.
That the
and
series
Bad
is called
Robot.
Denouement, and the denouement is the stuff that happens after the end of a thing.
Oh.
Because JJ Abrams is notoriously bad at the end of things. You know what I mean?
So he's starting
famously
at the end.
bad. I don't know.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. We should ask him.
$200 million.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue with your other.
Oh,
thing.
they just cancelled everything in September of last year.
Great.
I think this was also around the writers' strike, etc. So
Mm.
they just cancelled everything. So look, yeah, he hasn't done much, but Batman's coming. And
But he's done more than us, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That should be the measuring stick. Has this person with their $100 million or whatever it is, have they done more than us?
Yeah, absolutely. And yes.
He has, yes.
So I wanted
But would we do more with $100 million? $200 million?
Yeah, we would do more.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have a robot and Fred Schneider on each of my shoulders telling me to do stuff.
We all know that.
Spending my money.
We know that.
Yeah.
Now, Miller World's interesting. Alan Boyd brought this up in the Great Mates group.
Oh, yes.
Because in 2017, Netflix acquired Miller World. Do you want to explain Miller World?
Well,
Miller World.
yes. Although it's Miller World?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, Mark Miller is...
Tell it to the judge. I don't know.
I'll get Fred to tell it to the judge. So Mark Miller's a comic book writer who's produced a bunch of stuff that is all a bunch of comic books, many of which have been adapted to movies and
Under
TV
big
series.
brands as well.
Under big brands and like
Civil War, Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff.
And he's also a lot of his original stuff. And so
Yes.
and he
Kick-Ass.
Jupiter's Legacy.
Wanted,
yeah, absolutely. Kingsman.
Kingsman,
Bunch
exactly.
of stuff.
Yeah.
You said Kick-Ass, right?
Kick-Ass, yes.
Yeah, so just a bunch of stuff, and he doesn't seem to be bothered if they change the source material.
No.
So Wanted in the comic books was all about supervillains, and in the movie it's about assassins who believe in the magic of a loom.
Yeah, they
etc.
believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And yeah, so he's done a bunch of stuff, and then he's put it all under the Miller World banner, and at some point he made a deal with Netflix, I think.
Yes.
He made Jupiter's Legacy, which nobody liked
Well,
except me, and even then I didn't really like it.
They bought Netflix bought Miller World,
In
so
its
they were
entirety,
basically they wanted to do their MCU
Because his sort of company really at a certain point became test running stuff
Yeah,
to see if it's viable in another medium. So he'd make a comic book and then we'd see, like he's done it recently with Nemesis and that time travel-y one and a bunch of other
Chrononauts.
stuff. Yeah, and it's all
like Superior is it's like a Superman allegory.
Yeah.
And they're all very like intentionally, and this is not a criticism, but I think this is actually very interesting. They feel like movie pictures.
They all do, don't they? And a lot of his
very
series,
captivating and big imagery.
And a lot of his series sort of they're often 4 issues and they end very much like the third act of a movie. There's often this a third act twist and a thing we didn't see coming and et cetera, et cetera. And they all at a certain point, as you're reading a bunch of these, you go, oh, I see. This is very, very much intended to be adapted into a movie or a TV series or something.
And at the moment, all of those things are combining in the comics. So basically, even like Kick-Ass, which is set like in the real world, is set in the Wanted universe, which is set in the world where superheroes are a big game. Oh, I read the whole thing.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be an ongoing, but again, that wrapped up in 4 issues. It wrapped up in 4 issues again with that kind of that very much Mark Miller kind of. Here's a quick turn, and actually, here's what was happening behind the scenes, and now everything's fine again.
Everything's fine again.
Surprise!
Because in one of the stories, in Wanted, not the movie, and we've seen this in Civil War, or not Civil War, Old Man Logan, where the villains got together and they took over and they basically wiped everybody's memories of superheroes. So, but every universe is that. So, like the Kick-Ass universe is that, and it's all tied in together. But anyway,
I think surprisingly well considering. So many of those were created specifically to be like completely disparate universes and not connected in any way.
Absolutely.
To sort of mash them all together.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably too late in that people seem to be kind of getting sick of shared superhero universes.
Sure, yeah.
And to go to Netflix or really go to anybody and say, I've got this I built this shared universe and it's filled with superheroes and convoluted stuff. Do you want to make a series of movies? No.
I think in 2017, this was a good idea. Though.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, that was the year after Civil War.
It's true.
So, but Netflix didn't get Wanted, Kick-Ass, or Kingsman. Because you notice those, Kick-Ass is going again. They're going to reboot it, but it's like weird soft reboot where maybe it's the original cast come back or something. I'm not exact because also in the comic book, the Kick-Ass character like lives on, and also other people take it on as well.
Yeah.
Like they grow up.
Yes.
And Kingsman is still going at Disney or Fox.
Yeah.
So, and they apparently the article said that I took this from at the time they'd nearly $1 billion from those movies together. So they did The Chosen One. So they did Jupiter's Legacy in 2021, which we didn't mind, but nobody else seemed to like.
No, and it was structured differently to the comic book. And they decided it's that you've seen that tweet about Surf Dracula?
No.
There's a tweet about there's a tweet. If you just search for Surf Dracula, it's something like if they made a show called Surf Dracula back in the day, you'd see that guy surfing every week. Yeah. But now it's just nothing, and then at the end he gets his surfboard finally, in the final episode.
Back in the day, if you did a TV show called Surf Dracula, you'd see that full surf every week in new adventures. But in the streaming era, the entire first season's got to be a long-ass flashback to how he got the surfboard until you finally get to see him surf for 5 minutes in the finale.
That's what Jupiter's Legacy was like. Yeah. The comic book was just like, here's the superhero stuff, and in the TV series it was, here's the long, arduous journey to them to get the super powered stuff.
To spoil the comic book, but not the show because they never got there and they won't.
Yes, that's right.
In the opening issue, or maybe it's the second one, the Superman-esque character and that family, they're murdered.
Yes. And
then kind of some of his children are involved and some are on the run.
Yeah.
And then it jumps forward like 10 years. And the whole the landscape of superheroes has changed. And it moves at a clip. And I think, the pacing of the show, they should have done that.
I think Jupiter's Legacy is maybe my favorite Mark Miller comic book, generally.
I like Superior. Not Superior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huck, you like Huck
I like
as well?
Huck. I don't mind Huck, yeah.
God, there's a lot of potential in this.
I agree.
He's got some good ideas, this guy, this Mark Miller guy. I mean, not all his ideas.
Sure. He also did you know this?
You're in the public eye for too long. Suddenly, not all your ideas are great.
There was a show, and I had no idea this came out in 2023. It's called The Chosen One. It's an adaptation of American Jesus, which I've read. For those people who don't know, it's the second coming of Jesus.
But he's a bad guy or something?
Well, to spoil it.
There's a lot of these.
To spoil
There's a bunch of those, yeah.
They've gone, I think I read the first 2 volumes. But the first one is, you think it's Jesus and this person can perform miracles, but
he's the Antichrist.
It's the Antichrist, which I like that idea also. But I haven't seen that show. I didn't even know.
No, I didn't know that existed either.
The Magic Order was cancelled in 2020, which is kind of like, I didn't mind it. And that's still going, I think, as well. And that's like Magic Avengers kind of ish. No, not really.
Not really, no. But I mean, it's kind of like, it's
Is it more like
it's more Magic Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, okay,
it's a team. It's like a family, and they've been separated by life, and then they get back together, and they're all magic, but they don't always get along, and etc. Yeah. And there's like a prodigal son who left because he didn't want to be part of the team, and now he's back, and etc.
And then we've got apparently in the works a Chrononauts, Empress I don't mind either. Huck, Prodigy I don't love. It's a guy who's the smartest guy in the world who can do anything.
Oh, I didn't read that.
He's like, there's a plane coming. I'm going to calculate how to jump into this plane from this skyscraper or whatever, and then whatever.
So it's The Pretender.
Yes. Reborn.
Didn't
that's
read that
the Afterlife one. Sharky the Bounty Hunter.
I did read that. Is that the one? There's a woman and she dies.
Yeah,
she's an old woman. She dies,
and then she goes into a weird He-Man fantasy.
Okay,
world.
I did read that one. Yeah.
Sharky the Bounty Hunter and Space Bandit. So apparently, but I don't know what they're doing with this.
No,
I don't know where we're at with the Millerboard.
Is this
Netflix
all currently
productions.
Netflix, or is this deal is?
This is all Netflix. They own it. It's theirs.
Yeah, right.
Except for those 3 that I mentioned.
I think they've written it off for tax purposes.
Yes,
I mean,
this
this
might
point,
be done.
I mean, Jupiter's Legacy did not do well. Jupiter's Legacy was cancelled the first week it came out, I think.
Yes, that's right.
So they were like, it wasn't cancelled, but they were like, there will be... As it came out, they were like, there will be no season 2.
Yeah.
So, and normally at least they wait 6 months before they're like, well, we don't know yet. We'll see how things go. But they were like, as it was released, as people were talking about it to some degree, they're like, no season 2.
We don't want to actually. We're not doing this.
No. So
now you notice on streaming shows they'll often say like, this is getting a season 2. It'll like tell you before you click on it.
Yeah,
they're
right.
Like, trust us.
Oh, yeah, it'll be like season 2 coming 2025.
It's happening definitely.
Whatever. Oh, that reminds me. This is unrelated to that, but remember we talked on the Comic Book Club?
Yeah.
We talked about Ultra Mega?
Yes.
Which was like that Ultraman style. That's getting a new series in
Is that-
September.
Sweet.
So it was one of those ones where we read
To
it.
Netflix?
No, like a comic book
We read.
series.
I know.
Okay.
We read it at the wrong time, is what you're saying.
We read it, and then we were like, this is good and we enjoy it, but its future is uncertain.
We did that then.
There's that one, and there's also that's the series we read, The Nice House on the Lake.
Oh, I like that a lot.
I don't know if that's getting another.
I don't think you need to for that.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a great deal. Like, he probably got a lot of money for this.
Yeah.
But I wonder what that means. Does that mean a lot of his properties are now tied up at Netflix?
Seems that way. Yeah.
Does it mean if he creates something new, is it at Netflix?
I think it would have to be.
It would have to be, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't
imagine.
know.
I imagine also part of that deal is this. I mean, unless my assumption would be that anything he creates now, Netflix would get the first shot at it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And they're probably
they might opt out to.
I think they probably just went. We will the cost of creating a new series.
Yeah.
At this point is just more.
Yeah.
It's just more cost on top of cost for what we paid for it in the first place. So let's just not.
Also,
which is a shame.
That Argyle is set in the Kingsman universe, maybe.
Oh, I forgot about Argyle.
Nobody forgot about Argyle, Mason. It's
true.
the best movie in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon? What's he up to?
Seems
like he's working hard.
It seems like he's working. Yeah, that's right.
We're going to give him a pass.
Let's give him a pass.
He's chipping away at it.
Well, no one's been executed yet.
Not yet.
Just so people know, anybody who doesn't get a pass, we execute them.
This one will be executed. It's Obama. Can I say that?
I think we can execute him, yeah.
In a metaphorical sense?
Oh, you're thinking, will the Secret Service show up?
Yeah. Like
no,
the dog
they don't have any jurisdiction here.
They do. They run our government also.
They do that, don't they?
They point at us and go, do this, and we go, all right.
Yeah. I think it would be funny if the Australian Federal Police showed up.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
So this is...
To be clear, we're not going to execute Obama.
No.
We're going to execute his reputation.
He's stunning.
His stunning sterling reputation. That's right.
This is Adam Riley had this suggestion, but Obama has a Netflix deal. That's called Higher Ground Productions because he's always taking the higher ground.
Absolutely.
To drone strike civilians.
That's right.
Apparently he's going to...
What's that noise outside?
He's worked on, the work has been on scripted and unscripted series as well as docuseries, documentary films, and features under a multi-year deal. This includes Fatherhood, Worth, Rustin, Leave the World Behind. That's the only one of these I recognize. Our Great National Parks. All right. It seems like they've been doing things, but this is just that stuff that bad people make like feel good just fucking nonsense for nobody. Just middle of the road, like, isn't the world fucking fascinating? And it's like, you're the worst person in the world.
You're talking about David Attenborough.
That's right. Yeah.
Isn't this fascinating? Look at this animal.
Isn't it weird that I'm a dad and I'm the president?
James, what do you think about this? This is unrelated, but it's related to the thing that I said.
Yeah.
This is from April of this year. DC's award-winning The Nice House on the Lake continues with The Nice House by the Sea.
2 house lakes.
That's right.
All right.
Returning this summer with a second cycle set in an idyllic coastal retreat. No spoilers about that comic book, but it's good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Also, they had a Spotify deal in 2019. Okay. I don't know. I couldn't find out how much for. But like Michelle Obama does an interview one or something.
Yeah, right.
He did a podcast with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was called Real Ones or something.
I don't know. It's done. It finished.
It was called like Blue Collar Workers.
American Boys.
Two blue collar American boys.
I fucking hate this shit. This is my least favorite type of media.
Uh-huh.
Fucking awful, Mason.
This is like...
I fucking hate this.
This is like celebrity podcast, but more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just the way they lecture and be like, you just need to listen. People, we're trying to have a conversation, you need to listen. Fuck you. I fucking hate this shit.
Okay, all right. All right.
Anyway, you've done enough. Just shut the fuck up.
Oh, thank you. I'll go.
Bloomberg said in April 2022, Higher Ground will not be renewing their deal and instead looking for a different partner. The report said this is with, I think, Spotify.
Okay, right.
Citing unnamed sources with knowledge of negotiations.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.
Higher Ground Productions is moving on. Yeah.
Well, we're going to give them a traditional thumbs down. We're going to give them the mildest of thumbs down.
I think I'm going to have to.
And we're going to be checking out our windows.
Yeah. Here's one that I detest, but not quite as much.
Okay.
It's Mike Smarts mentioned this one. Meghan Markle and Harry of Britain, their deal.
Harry of Britain.
That's why I wrote it.
Okay.
For those people who don't know, he was a prince, wasn't he?
Great Harry of Great Britain.
Yeah, but now he's a pauper.
Now we were as members of the Commonwealth, we used to have to call him Great Harry of Great Britain.
So they had a Spotify deal.
But now we can say, hey, Your Majesty, shut up.
Idiot.
Shut your mouth, idiot.
Spotify deal in 2020 for $20 million. Mm-hmm. This is via The Wrap. Oh, sorry. There's an article about this. It says this article in the Wrap says, when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's lucrative Spotify deal fell apart in 2023, Bill Simmons, people would know from like The Ringer, etc. The Ringer founder and managing director, was incensed. He said, I wish I'd been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation. Simmons, the head of podcasting innovation and monetization at Spotify, which owns The Ringer, said on his self-titled show, The F King Grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them.
Ooh.
Oh. But also,
classic catty behavior from Bill Simmons.
Yeah, man.
Bill the bitch Simmons.
But
Meow.
But Spotify, the Spotify contract paled in comparison to their estimated $100 million Netflix that Netflix agreed to pay them in September of 2020.
Damn.
And so they started with producing the documentary series Harry and Meghan, which was 2 years later. And that's pretty much it. That did well. Like that did numbers.
Right.
People seem to like it. They're like, look at these relatable people running about.
They're so relatable.
Yeah. Look, I honestly genuinely kudos to them for leaving the royal family. And also kudos for getting hundreds of millions of dollars out of people
nothing.
for nothing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And all it took was being born into royalty.
I know.
Yeah.
It's easy as that. Anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it.
Everything with them was apparently fraught.
A leap of faith. I'm going to leave the untold millions of dollars of my family to the untold millions of dollars of just signing a piece of paper and then never doing anything.
Yeah. Also,
No. But there would have been that period for a couple of weeks where they're like, boy, how are we going to feed our family?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Also,
maybe with my multi-million-dollar allowance.
That would probably help.
Be in my bank account currently.
Outside of their initial leaving and insight into the royal family, nobody cares about any of this, what they're up to. And I assume, is that just me?
I mean, a lot of Women's Day magazines would beg to differ.
But that's all royal related. I'm talking
right.
what have you got to say about whatever?
Now, right?
Yeah. Everything apparently was fraught and complicated because they wanted complete control. I mean, yes. Netflix and Markle and they announced a bunch of stuff. One of them was Pearl in 2021.
The movie?
No. It was animated. It was centered on the adventures of a 12-year-old girl who finds inspiration in a variety of influential women throughout history. Probably meet Hillary Clinton, Mason.
I'd probably meet Hillary Clinton.
A young Hillary Clinton, and inspire her to run for
right.
president and lose.
They'd probably meet Marie Curie. They'd probably meet, maybe they meet Pearl from the movie Pearl.
They might.
Yeah.
Other plans including a TV drama feminist retelling of Miss Havisham and from Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. God, this shit. And a documentary
Great Expectations.
Very good. And a documentary about Prince Harry traveling solo in Africa. This is unfucking
It's called My
believable.
Wife is Sick of Me. So I'm going to Africa.
Which we colonized
Yeah.
and brutalized. But they're not happening. God.
You're mad at them now. Before you weren't mad and now you're mad.
I'm looking at these announcements.
Is it because they were given infinite money and haven't done anything with it?
No, it's
it's
the scolding and the life lessons that I hate. That's
Right.
the shit that I really resent.
What I
And I do that. I'm the worst.
Yeah,
I know
right.
that.
Yeah. We said that guy was a war criminal because of all the war crimes that he was adjacent to when they happened. You know what gets me about those is they're just bare bones ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did they even come up? It's like, when I don't know. It's like when they go, oh, this person, the actor, they actually contributed. They designed the costume they're wearing in the movie or whatever. Did they design the costume or did somebody just go this or this and they went this?
These lines or these lines.
Yeah. Or when it's like, The Rock created this tequila. Did you create any tequila or did they just give you 3 samples from 3 distilleries and you went, which one? And you picked one. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's like, what about a thing about feminism? And they went, sure.
Animated?
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made a show about feminism. No, they didn't.
Well, they didn't.
Well, they didn't. They didn't at all. We got them. But it's just they're such bare bones. Like as much as we make fun of Mark Miller for, some really... this is a bit crass or this is a bit, base level. At least he's coming up with
so many ideas.
He's got so many ideas. It's like, well, what about
if I go to Africa and I go around and I go to a village and I go, wow, people live differently.
Yeah, great.
I fucking hate this shit, Mason.
You've turned on these guys. Wow. You could get a job with Piers Morgan doing the Royal Family Watch.
He's another guy. Oh God. Okay. All right. We're wrapping this up.
All
okay.
right. Okay.
It's been over 30 minutes. Beyonce. This is from Margaret Aguelo. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I have. It's my accent. I'm sorry, and I'm a dumbass. Beyonce had a Netflix deal.
What?
She signed a 3-picture deal for Netflix for $60 million in 2019, and the first was her documentary Homecoming. And then
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, and then nothing. That's
and
it.
Beyonce Far From Home.
Yeah,
and Beyonce No Way Home.
Yeah, where she meets the other members of Destiny's Child.
That's right.
And they team up to fight the Green Goblin. Mason, she did one.
Did she?
Yeah, that was the first one,
All
the
right.
doco, and then that's it. After you do a documentary about yourself, what do you do next?
That's right.
Because that's it, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch J-Lo's documentary?
No.
Apparently it was really good.
No.
Everyone's saying it's really good. You should
Some
watch
people
it.
are saying they should throw her in J-Lo for how
Really?
bad it is. Yeah.
Who's saying that?
Throw her in J-Lo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got another one here from Jack Shepard. This is another quick one as well. Michael B. Jordan and Amazon. In Varieties, in 2021, they signed a deal. He did Tom Clancy's Without Remorse.
I remember that, yeah.
They were going to do a whole whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah.
He also did.
He was Rodney Remorse.
Was he?
Yeah, that's right.
Rodney Remorse. My goodness.
Yeah, Rodney Remorse is better, actually.
He did.
Well, Rodney, the terrorists have attacked. We're gonna get Rodney Remorse. He's in prison. We're gonna have to do this without remorse. That's the title of the movie.
He'd previously done some Netflix stuff. He did Raising Dion, which is apparently quite good.
Is Amazon associated with Creed?
I was going to say the Creed franchise is at Netflix, but I don't. This
Is it
seems
okay.
not to Netflix. Sorry, with yes,
That's what I thought, yeah.
because I think it went to that. Creed 3 went to Amazon fairly quickly.
Yeah.
and exclusively, I think, from memory.
Maybe.
So yeah, I don't know where this is at. This is kind of. It's only 3 years ago, and he's done some things.
Right,
and also
okay.
he is working on things. So it's too early to put him in jail.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one we can most easily put in jail because he can't drone strike us or sue us.
Oh, that's
or,
true, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And we liked Creed 3. We hate to
I was
do
going to
it.
say I like him a lot. He seems cool. So
He's got ideas.
Yeah.
And he does them.
that's right.
Adrian Crawley's also mentioned, just in passing, Mason. Daniel Day Kim signed an exclusivity with Amazon. John M. Chu with Netflix. But he's doing Wicked as well. So that's obviously outside of that. Ryan Murphy, Netflix as well. Ryan Murphy, is he the guy who did like Glee and shit?
He sounds like a guy who would do that. Yes.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, he did. And he did Dharma and American Horror Story, etc. But yeah, people, I couldn't get through Dharma. I'm like, this is horrible. It just felt.
Which one is this?
The Jeffrey Dahmer series that he did.
I was thinking more Dahmer and Greg.
Oh man, that's great. Dahmer and Greg.
That's
Can you imagine?
Jeffrey Dahmer and Greg, the killer clown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He's not a clown. He's a guy who ate people in his apartment. He shouldn't have done it. I'll say it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why, are you going to cancel this guy?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm going to do it. You can't drone strike me, can he?
No, he's probably in prison or dead.
Yeah, good. That's good, actually. So there you go. That's some of the deals that we know of that are out and about.
Great.
I don't.
Just the amount of money floating around and people doing nothing. Incredible.
But again, I don't think it's just them.
No.
I mean, some people are generating bad ideas.
Yeah.
But who wants to listen to like some of these people like a Spotify? Like nobody wants that.
I don't know. I mean,
Do they?
I think some people must initially. I bet some people initially like the idea. If you said, okay, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, they're going to do a podcast and you're going to hear what the real details of their life.
Again,
I'm sure people would
that
go,
I agree with.
But I think that sort of thing, you listen for an episode or two and you go, oh, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in this. But in theory, you're like, oh, those are people that I've seen in magazines and TV. They seem so aloof and above it all. They're mythical figures to some degree.
What are they like?
What are they like? And the answer's boring. But you don't know until the deal has been signed. But,
Yeah.
But I'm sure the executives go, oh my God, people must, it's a fairy tales thing.
Yeah.
People must want to.
What if Prince Harry went to Africa and he
right.
showed us how people really live?
Yeah,
And he's on his own.
And he shot an elephant with a blunderbuss.
He did.
He's wearing one of those pith helmets.
Yeah.
We're going to dress him up and have him shoot endangered animals.
Brave.
It is, but we could call it brave.
I would watch that. Brave Prince Harry.
Yeah. He's got an Indian headdress on. We're going to go all the way.
Good luck to everybody. God bless you
Good
all.
luck to everybody. We bless you and
We forgive you.
forgive you. Everybody we've mentioned this episode, we bless you and we forgive you, and we believe the charges were trumped up.
I didn't, even in researching this, I wasn't mad.
Right, but now you are.
Now going back through it all, I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then, God.
Now it's infuriating.
Yeah, man. All right, should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
But what are we going to do?
We're going to do what we're reading.
Yep.
What we're going to read.
Yep.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today?
We talk about things, what we've been reading and watching and
That's
etc.
right.
What do you got, Mason?
Did you know that they've just dropped on a Netflix worldwide Godzilla -1?
Oh, yeah, that's
on
right. That
Netflix.
did just happen.
Yeah.
June 1st or whatever it was.
Yeah,
they said.
yeah. And you know what's interesting?
Oh, here we go. Here we
what's-
bloody
what's
go.
interesting-
Another classic Mason rant.
Here's what's interesting, James. I got no heads up. I got no heads up. The last little message I got from Netflix, the last email was like, "Guess what's coming up? Morbius. You want to watch Morbius,
Oh,
don't
okay.
you?" But like, look,
That's
here's the
weird.
Netflix front page on my phone.
Yeah.
Atlas, the J-Lo movie.
Oh,
where
they're pushing that hard.
Where she's a robot. Or
I've heard
whatever.
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Just a bunch of old stuff, just weird bits and pieces. No clue that this is out at all.
Yeah.
But I would tell, for people who didn't see it at the cinemas, which you probably didn't, because it had like a week window.
Yeah.
A 1 week window.
So weak.
It was such a weak window.
Yeah.
We did an episode on it, and I imagine most people were like, that sounds
Sounds
good.
amazing.
Sounds good. It's a shame it's not out anywhere. It hasn't been out for it's been on the cards for a while.
Yeah.
I think people should absolutely check it out on Netflix.
Just looking at the numbers on our
Find your
podcast
friend with the
today.
biggest TV.
Oh, people have caught up on it. So just on YouTube alone, it's got 78,000 views.
Okay.
So that's good.
That's good.
Presumably, if that's what people are going there for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pick your friend with the biggest TV, go to
Yeah.
their house, watch Godzilla -1.
Yeah. It is in Japanese.
Well, there's a dubbed version.
Oh, even better.
You can watch it subbed or dubbed. I watched a couple of minutes of it, and I'm like, this dub is actually not bad.
Oh, really? Okay.
Pretty good. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
All right.
It's Fred Schneider
Yes.
from the B-52s. He's doing all the voices.
Down there and the Godzilla.
Exactly. That's right.
Horrible human crimes.
Yeah.
Let's kill this lizard with a weird bomb we made.
Like that.
Oh, no.
Like I said, it's great. It's
He's
a great dub.
invincible, we think. He's chasing us on this boat. I wish it was a love boat.
Nice.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
No?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying no.
I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. Good work. Good Fred Schneider. You've learned well, I think.
It's fun to do.
It's fun to do. That's what I'm saying. Imagine living his life every day.
Does he talk like that?
I don't know.
Hello, can I just have a flat white coffee? Extra hot. I'm old as fuck. This isn't
Did you
hot
just
enough.
put the cup in a microwave? He knows. He knows all the tricks. They didn't really make it extra hot for him.
I come here every day.
Anyway, I'm going to watch that. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited to do that because
That's
again,
it's a good movie.
yeah. I mean, Godzilla content hasn't exactly been thin on the ground this year,
No, you could get it.
but this is a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I've been playing Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is the new Prince of Persia side-scrolling Metroidvania style game.
What's that on?
I'm playing it on PlayStation 5, so I thought to myself, I want to play this. I have 3 games on my PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Even though I could play it on the Switch,
Uh-huh.
let's get some games for the PlayStation 5.
Sure.
Even though this could run, you could put it inside of a donkey, Mason, and it would run.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you probably couldn't, but it's a.
I think if you just inserted most things into a donkey, the donkey would run.
you might be
Yeah.
right.
Just a sort of fight or flight response, I think.
Absolutely. I'm a big Prince of Persia fan. There hasn't been a new game in like 14 years or something.
Yeah, right.
Easy game to play, right?
Yes.
Easy game to play.
Yes.
I put in the disc, okay? This
Okay.
is I understand this is an old man like situation.
Yes, okay.
I acknowledge that.
Uh-huh.
I put in the disc. It says the disc needs to be transferred, the data to the PlayStation.
Okay, sure.
I'm like, that's fine, because these have no load times, right?
Yeah, right, it
Remember?
can't-
Because
yeah.
the instant load times.
That was a main selling point.
It took 20 to 30 minutes to load this game. Like it's 1992, Mason. And then it says, you need to update your PlayStation.
Yeah, of
and I
course.
go, cool, that takes 10 minutes. And then it says, hey, you know what? You need to update your controller.
What?
You know that thing that never changes?
Yeah.
You should update that.
Yeah, okay.
So I update that.
Yeah.
Then I get in there and I go to play it and it goes, you know what? We'd love you to play this, but first you should log into your Ubisoft account, which you definitely
Ooh,
have.
Yeah.
So then I had to create an account. You got to type out an email using a controller.
You could have just yelled it at your TV.
I could have. And then I had to confirm the email and get the code or whatever.
Oh,
it
yeah,
took
sure.
me maybe an hour plus
Okay.
to play this game that runs on the Switch.
And how long did you play the game?
I'm still playing. It's amazing. It's such a good game. I love it. It's great. But like, again, I know this is like an old man thing, but how is this better than what? It's that in-shitification thing,
It
right?
absolutely
just
is, yeah.
junk in the way.
Yeah.
And I know games are different. You can't just blow on a cartridge and put it in a Nintendo anymore or whatever. But you sort of can. There is no way that that's not possible.
Yeah.
Why is it like this?
When you buy a game on the Switch, it takes 20 seconds to download,
Yes.
and then you just play it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Terrible. Anyway, again, love it. It's really cool.
Okay, good.
Like
You said it
combat
was a side scroller.
Yeah, Metroidvania.
What's it called again? I'm going to look
Prince
up
of Persia, The Lost Crown. There's also a new one where it's like from the Dead Cells creator. There's another Prince of Persia game where it's like generated levels. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okey-dokey.
It's something else, Mason.
Oh, this looks pretty good.
It is good.
Okay. All right.
I want more Prince of Persia games.
What is the is there a
But you're not the Prince of Persia. You're another guy.
what?
But the Prince of Persia is in it.
Wow.
And that makes me mad.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, do you think you have to fight him at the end?
No, he's just kind of there.
He's just there.
Yeah, he's just but maybe he turns into a big ghoul.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe you have to pay extra to be the Prince of Persia.
I
It's a
hope so.
microtransaction.
I really hope so, Mason.
What is the gameplay conceit? Is there like a reverse time thingy, or is it more,
Yeah, there is a bit
old
of that.
school?
I'm still not that far into it, but it's kind of an old school kind of platforming. There's precision to it. The combat is like it's parries and sliding under and whatever. There's a frenetic pace to it, which I enjoy.
Reminds me of that Bionic Commando game they made
Yeah,
that time. Remember?
I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm not really I haven't played a lot of Metroidvania stuff.
Yeah, right.
So if you played any of that, you'd be very familiar. There's also an option which I turned off at the start where it's like, this is just going to tell you where to go. And I'm like, no, I'm going to explore. And then I got like 20 minutes in. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to turn that on. I don't have time for this.
right.
I don't have time to be running around this castle.
Yeah,
But it will
that's
often
that's the parent with kids mode.
yeah, you'll go to the map and it will give you an icon, but you haven't explored that. So you're like, okay, so I have to go to the top right of this map, but I don't know how to get there because I haven't unveiled the map. So you got to kind of work your way there and you hit a dead end and you got to kind of go around it.
Right.
I really enjoy it. I think it's really cool. Again, though, why do they make games this way, though? Why is it? It upsets me. I'm having a big upset time this week,
You
Mason.
really are.
And I've got an upset tummy also.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should we move it along now?
Let's move it along.
But what are we going to do?
I think we'll do letters.
Yeah.
So I'll play the letters theme.
All right, that's great.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
Now they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Yay!
James, here's an email from Patrick.
Oh, if you do want to reach the show, just hold your horses or donkeys. You can hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter or send us a Gmail to weeklyplanetpod@email.com.
You can send us any form of email. You don't have to send a Gmail.
You have to send a Gmail. We do not accept Yahoo Mail. We do not.
All right, then.
We decided on that, didn't we? We signed that exclusive deal
Man,
with
that's
Yahoo that we wouldn't use their
That's
email.
right. Please don't use our emails, please. This is an email from Patrick. Hey, James and Meso. I've been a fan of the Weekly Planet pod for years, but I was also a fan of James and Claire's less successful podcast,
Oh, yeah.
Suggestible. Any update on Claire's long and arduous commitment to read Project Hail Mary?
Oh,
I suspect
no.
Patrick has said, I suspect Claire may have ended the Suggestible podcast just so she wouldn't have to read it.
That is very possible. No, she's never going to read it. As I said at the time.
So this is
never
a movie.
gonna
This
happen.
is becoming a movie
The
with
Goose is going to do
Ryan
it.
Gosling, and it's about all I know about it is there's a
The
he's a
world is
teacher.
dying. Yep.
He's a teacher, and he wakes up on a spaceship, and then he remembers that he's
there for a
He's there to
reason.
save humanity,
Yeah.
or something, or repopulate the universe, or something.
Oh, it's all spoilers. I won't get
Oh.
into it. It's a great book.
Okay.
Claire hasn't read it.
But you've read it.
I've read it.
Okay, and you suggestible it to her.
I did.
and she has not.
She
read
kept
it.
saying she was going to read it,
Interesting,
but she wouldn't.
too busy with colors and poems. And
Yeah,
so
she
forth.
loves colors and poems.
That's what I thought,
She's always
yeah.
like, look at this color. I'm like, that's blue.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Correct.
And then she's like, look at this
Like,
color,
was
and
this
you're
a
like
test?
red, and she's like, no, that's green. And then you realize you're colorblind.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I run that red light. Mason.
James, the letter continues.
Oh.
Patrick says, I do miss hearing James and Claire's banter, and I was wondering if there might be room for a semi-regular Claire guest spot on the Weekly Planet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about like semi-regular, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, let's bring her in.
Just whenever.
When she's not busy. I mean, often the case is you're doing this and she's busy with other
Yeah.
stuff, and then vice versa.
Vice versa.
So-
And kids and stuff. So we
Yeah,
often
yeah.
do things separately for that very reason. But yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a girl movie. Exactly.
Yeah, maybe if Meghan Markle releases a girl podcast for girls, she can talk about that.
Exactly.
You know, what about it?
Exactly.
What if a girl met other famous girls, you know?
God,
know?
I'd love that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't love it, actually.
Anyway, keep up the great work, guys. Your podcast is single-handedly keeping me sane during the hot Arizona summer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great.
Have an Arizona iced tea, why don't you?
It's the best thing for it, for that Arizona hot summer.
That's right.
I got a tweet here from from Gareth Jones, who's Draw My Foot is his handle.
Okay. Do you think you will for a fee?
Maybe.
Okay.
Says hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. If you folks are intending on following tradition and dipping your collective toes into new Doctor Who season, I implore you to start watch with episodes 3 and 4. I watched 1 and 2. I'm like,
Okay.
I'll get the feel of this.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I watched the Christmas one as well, but then 1 and 2, which I thought were okay. And I nearly finished 3, which I quite like. And apparently 4 is really good.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying this newish spin on Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I have noticed, and I haven't watched, so like you, we watched the specials.
Yeah.
So the Tenant specials and then the Regen.
Yeah.
And then the one where the house was being stolen. Was that the Christmas special? Remember
Yeah.
when goblins were stealing that house?
Our goblins are still in the house.
Yeah, yeah. What I've noticed, just based on stills from the most recent episodes, there's a lot more costume changes than in traditional
There is.
Doctor Who.
That's true. He's fun as well.
This
He's
new
great.
Doctor is always
Yeah.
changing
Yeah.
outfits.
I like him a lot.
Okay.
Like he's fun and cool.
Also, we've been saying his name as Ncuti Gatwa.
Yeah.
And I watched a video recently because his name starts with an N.
Yeah.
It's
NC.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been told he's been telling people that the N is silent, but he learned recently it's not silent.
Oh my God. He's made us look like a fool.
Right?
So it's Ncuti.
Apparently, yes.
All right then.
Yeah. Unless he learned something else.
Yeah, I know. If you got any
It's
more
a third
information,
thing.
let us
You
know.
got any more silent letters that aren't silent?
Yeah, but if someone told me that my name isn't pronounced James, it's
Yeah.
actually, I'd be like, no, this is it now.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
I'm not changing. I can't, and I won't. Anyway.
It's not pronounced James.
That's fun to do. You don't even have to use words.
It's
You're gonna
just a
watch.
vibe.
You're gonna watch more Doctor Who.
Yes, I am going to watch
Cool,
more
man.
Doctor Who.
Alrighty.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably will fall off as I always
Yeah,
do, but
yeah,
for the
yeah,
moment,
yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
It's an email from Hayden.
Hayden.
Hey, James and Mesa. Recently, a friend asked me what my top 3 most rewatchable movies are.
Oh.
They're not necessarily my favorite movies, but the movies I find I could watch multiple times a year. I was wondering if you guys had any movies like this. My top 3 would have to be Back to the Future, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and The Dark Knight.
Good movies, all of those.
I can rewatch Ocean's 11.
You love Ocean's 11.
I can rewatch Ocean's 11. Every year I rewatch the movie Ronin,
Yeah?
which is the De Niro movie.
De Niro.
And probably, I reckon I'd probably do another heist movie. Let me think. Not Ocean's.
Money heist.
No.
Taken. They heist his
No.
family.
No.
Mm.
What do you got? I'll think of a
Well, I've
third
been
one.
rewatching like a lot of kids stuff that I'd watch. Like
Oh, yeah, of
the
course,
other
yeah.
day we watched Princess Bride, and my son
Mm-hmm.
had the same reaction that Fred Savage's character has during that movie.
Right.
Initially, he's like, "I hate this,"
Right.
and then there's
Yeah.
a sword fight and whatever, and he's like, "This is boring," and it would cut to Fred Savage be like, "This is
Nice.
I hate this kissing or whatever." It was literally like
Nice.
It was bizarre watching it play out.
Fred Savage was one step ahead of your kid
Yeah.
the whole time.
And it's God, and watching him like.
Eventually you turned to your kid and you were like, you got any more stuff to say? You got anything else to say? You got any fun? You got another little crack to have at this movie? I'll pause. Take your time.
Yeah, it's
Take your
fine.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh, you thought that was boring? Well, guess what? Fred Savage thought it was boring too.
And he thinks you're boring.
You're boring
and predictable and basic. I mean, it's still a classic, obviously. I'm glad
Yes.
they've never really done anything else with it. There might be a sequel book. Is that wrong or right?
No, they always claimed there was going to be, but a lot of that book is lies.
Great. Love that.
It's going to be called Buttercup's Baby.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
There was and just watching him kind of get into the revenge side of it, and
Yeah,
it's got some
yeah.
weird turns in it that
Yeah.
it's such like watching that movie afterwards. I'm like, I was saying to Claire, there's just nothing else like that. That is, it's so unique,
Yes.
and of an era, and specific and weird.
Yeah.
But the flow of it is like perfect, and there's
Uh-huh.
some stuff that's like obviously not dated as well.
Yeah, right.
But it's just like it just is what it is.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, the movie Big Night. I like to rewatch that. That's a Stanley Tucci movie.
Big
It's
Night.
Stanley Tucci and Tony Shalhoub.
Is that the one that said they're in the restaurant or something?
They're in the restaurant.
I gotta
Exactly
watch
right.
that. You've been
Yeah.
telling me about
It's a good
that.
movie.
Yeah. Okay. We
Old
both
school
watch,
Tucci with hair.
we both watch movies, don't we?
We should have.
Anything else?
Oh, maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. Do you have another?
I do.
another
This is
tweet?
from
Go for it.
Sunshine in the Funshine. Says hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. I went to the movies this weekend. All right. And 4 out
all right.
of 5 trailers were for sequels or revivals. How do you feel about this current atmosphere in entertainment where everything old is new again? Are we in a renaissance or have the sequel/remakes reached their peak? I don't know where we are, honestly. It's kind of even good stuff doesn't do well. New stuff doesn't do well. Old stuff doesn't do well.
Right, yeah,
Again, people are waiting for streaming, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're about to enter an era of probably toy IP. We've been talking about that for a while,
that's true.
He-Mans and et cetera, because of Barbie.
But that also might not work.
and Oppenheimer, obviously,
Yeah.
because, all the Oppenheimer action figures and so forth.
And he toyed with our emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got I regret my actions arm. You squeeze his legs together and he goes, oh, and he makes that face.
I regret my actions. Should have thought it through. I'm a communist in this funny little room.
Hell
This
yeah.
is wow, this is
It's
great.
good. It's fun to do. Folks,
It's slow enough where you can think of a rhyme
you can,
as
exactly,
you're doing
that's
it.
right, yeah. Folks, be Fred Schneider from the B-52s at some point in your regular life this week. And
Do
let
it to
us know how
somebody.
goes.
Do it to somebody.
Do it in a shop. Do it to your friends.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I
That's
checked.
great.
Yeah. Kate Pearson passed away.
Oh,
she was
that's no good.
the female singer in that band.
72.
Yeah, doing great.
Doing great. Anyway, you got another letter? Or is that
I
it?
do. Here's an email from Jonathan.
Jonathan.
He says, watch Scavengers Reign. Hey, James and Meso, I'm an animator and animation teacher at the college level. I just heard you mention the release of Scavengers Reign on
I
Netflix.
do want to watch this, yes.
And I just wanted to stump for the series. Please go watch it.
I'll do it.
There are some good shows out there that do indulge in like adult animation tropes, violence, etc. But that's a very narrow view of what animation can be. Scavengers does have some moments of the aforementioned content, but it is certainly not the draw. Instead, the show is defined by mature, nuanced storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm pushing this series is with the hopes that its success will help broaden the horizons of what Western animation can be.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so over here it's on Blanche.com.
Yes, I believe so.
But the new series is moving to Netflix. It's being
Yes.
transferred over, I think. So I have seen a little still for that, and it looks exciting.
looks amazing.
So, yeah.
We will watch it, won't we? Or
Yep.
we'll forget. Because when you mentioned that, I'm like, which one was that one? Oh, that one I mentioned last week.
That's right.
Yeah, cool. Is that the show?
That's the whole show, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate
We should have
it.
mentioned up top what we're going to do next week. That was the thing we were going to
Is
do.
it we could put it in?
We committed to
It's-
it. All right,
is
we'll do it at
Watches?
the end.
Is it Watches?
It's the Watches, or we could do Bad Boys 3.
Watches. I mean, I joke
Oh,
around.
and there's the Acolyte. We'll probably talk a little bit about
Also,
the
it's Bad
Acolyte.
Boys 4.
Ugh, it's even worse news. They kept making them.
They did, yeah.
Ah.
You skipped one, and you thought that would be the
I
end of it.
skipped the first one and the third one.
You only saw 2 where they went to Cuba.
I hated it.
Henry Rollins was like, you better go to Cuba.
Hated it.
Remember when Henry Rollins was on the Bad Boys team?
I really don't.
Okay.
Mason.
Interesting.
I don't.
Interesting.
Anyway, go on.
I think it's the Watches we're watching.
Yeah, okay, I'll watch. I'll watch
Folks,
this.
thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast because that is how we get new listeners. Thank you for telling your review system thing on your podcast
Yeah,
catcher
tell
a
it.
5-star review. Tell it a 5-star review. Give us a 5-star review on your podcast catcher and James will read it out.
It's from Broadway Hill who says 5 stars. Love the pod. Go back to the original intro. The one where Mason sung Somebody Save Me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that
Maybe
one.
we will.
Maybe we will.
And this is from this is from Satfguyu. It says Best Bloody
love 'em.
Banter. I first discovered this podcast 4 years ago when I watched Caravan of Garbage Star Wars, The Clone Wars Volume 1. I've loved it ever since.
Damn, you're old.
I know. Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh. Every week I download the episode and I listen to it during my monotonous commutes. P.S. My favorite character has got to be Mason's 30-year-old Ray character. And she sounds a little something like this.
Hey, I'm Ray.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
I don't know, man.
That was a perfect setup.
Yeah, no, that's good. You're right. Hey, I'm Ray, and I'm starting a new order. You know how it goes.
Yeah, etc.
Yeah.
Oh, look out. It's the Sarlacc.
Nice, like Love Shack.
Yeah, it's the
I love that.
Sarlacc.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we doing?
Folks, if you want to contact us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord
Yeah, man.
for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Sarabi and Fidel and Maisie for moderating over there and doing
How do
the
they do
TikTok and doing the clips channels and doing all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
If you want to follow some people on the socials, first follow our friend Rob Collings. He's at Raw Collings on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. He'll keep you up to date on all things The Weekly Planet.
He'll let you know.
You can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and on Instagram I'm Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you chuck in a buck or an amount you would not miss at patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies.
Fine with us.
Or you can go to bigsandwich.co, sign up for $9 per month, bonus podcast, movie commentaries, early videos, video game let's plays.
Red Notice.
We got so much stuff there, including Red Notice, obviously.
Obvo.
Thank you to the Brood of the Basilisk and Rack and Froller musical theme.
Yep, man. Yeah.
And if you want a t-shirt, you can go to tpublic.com. You search for The Weekly Planet. We've got t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, there's so many t-shirts there. I'll get an unofficial one. We don't care. We don't care at all.
Yeah, nice.
I get an email when we sell one sometimes, I think, but I don't know, like, if we get the money.
Oh,
Someone's getting it.
nice.
Someone's getting it.
Hell yeah.
Anything else?
That's everything.
All right. Should we see you on the next one?
Yes, we shall see you in the next one.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Grab that gem, everybody.
See you next week.